Do not worry.
Why, hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Do Not Worry Podcast, episode 181, folks. So you might notice something a little bit different this week. We have a little chat box right over here where the live chat should be appearing here, okay? I make no promises. We tested this out yesterday for the first time, so you guys should be seeing the live chat popping up somewhere around here momentarily. There's like a slight delay, I think, or if not, we're going to have this nice little orange box next to us the whole episode for no reason. Also, if you guys do send in a super chat, you're going to notice a brand new kind of like animation in the middle of the screen. It looks hella ugly, okay? It's got like fire and swords and stuff. I was trying to find something that looked nice within theme. We just chose it because of how cheesy and funny it looked. Don't judge us. We're going to try to find something better. But for now, enjoy the fire. Enjoy the hell flames. Folks, welcome to a very, very special episode of the podcast where we have a very special guest. You guys know we don't do guests very often. We've only had Bad Empanada once on the show, and I've had a couple of like random Lebanese TikTokers. But we have a very, very special guest for you guys today. Friend of the show, Comrade Casey, North Star Radio. We're going to get into that in just a few moments. But before we do, the live chat is not appearing. Nour, if you can look into that, ask Elijah what's going on. I guess I should have tried to do something with the link or something. I don't know, folks. We're figuring it out. We're having a good time. Oh, there we go. The live chat is appearing. It's popping up. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Before we get going, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, please take a second to consider supporting us on Patreon, folks. We have a Patreon. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely patrons who support us. Got your patrons like Elian Mujabir, Dominic Selger, Daniel Nechle, EU Watson, superhero patrons like Claudia Khawla and Ahmad, Pee-wee Hernan, Bonnie Buns, Bader, Jordan M, and Preston Krull. We cannot keep the show going without you guys. You guys can also support us via YouTube membership. So if you don't want to join the Patreon, there's oh, there we got it. Is that a super chat, folks? Is that a super chat animation? Bob Vorn sends $2 and says, please, if you're not hungry, donate this falafel. Bob Vorn, we got you. So if you guys cannot support us through Patreon, feel free to do so via YouTube memberships. There's multiple tiers that you guys can choose from. You guys can also support us in the live chat, just like Bob Vorn just did by sending in a super chat. This show cannot continue without you guys. You guys keep the lights on. I can pay my crew. Thanks to you guys. So we love you very much. And you guys can also gift memberships. There's also a very horrible animation for that is brand new. You guys are going to love it or hate it. So thank you so much for the support. But you guys don't have to do any of that stuff to support the channel. It's more than enough for you guys to simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a Do Not Warrior, engage in the live chat, engage in the comments if you're watching this on replay. Help us out in the algorithm. And we love you very much. Before we continue, a couple of small little things to talk about. Let me just minimize this little thing over here. How can I hide it? Okay, I'm gonna put this here. So, consider subscribing to my gaming channel, folks. Do Not Worry Gaming. We're at 764 subscribers. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm doing a bunch of live streams on there. Some fun live streams, playing some Dark Souls, playing some Frog Detective. I have also, folks, just you got to see this. I promised you guys live American Truck Simulator. I have purchased a driving wheel to drive trucks, folks. I'm going to drive all the way to Minnesota to visit Comrade Casey with my American trucks using this, folks. And this was only made possible thanks to you guys. Ooh. Marina Nimis just gifted 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Thank you so much, Marina. That's so fucking generous of you. So this has been purchased. My plaid shirt, which I shall be slicing up to make into a sleeveless shirt, has been purchased. So we're going to be cosplaying as an American truck driver. So join us. Veronica also sends FML, sends 6 shekels. The greatest anti-Zionist Israeli that is watching our show, folks. Isn't that crazy? So W's in the chat for Veronica. And that's so anytime someone gets gifted, I guess they get a whole animation for themselves. We'll work on that, folks. We'll work on that. Also, so not only should you guys subscribe to Do Not Worry Gaming, also consider subscribing to North Star Radio, friend of the show, with 70,000 subs. Make sure you are subscribed. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, if you're watching this live stream, you're already subscribed to North Star Radio. Comrade Casey, friend of the show. And without further ado, folks, let us bring in the star of the show, friend of the show. The one and only, the man who started Ethan Klein's Crash Out, North Star Radio, aka Comrade Casey. Comrade Casey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Do Not Worry. Thank you for being on here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. This is my first ever time on anyone's show as a guest. It's an honor, and I look forward to seeing you in Minnesota.
Well, hell yeah. I'm going to visit you via truck for the first. By the way, audience, please let us know if the audio, if I'm too loud, if Comrade Casey's too loud, let us know. We'll try to work on the audio on our end. But let us know. Comrade Casey, it's an honor for us to have you here. I don't have many guests on usually because I consider myself to be a horrible interviewer. But I'm very glad that you're here. Also, for some reason, I feel like if someone comes on our show, it causes like some controversy, but you are no stranger to controversy. You have been in the eye of the storm. You are an enemy of Ethan Klein, which we'll get to momentarily. So actually just let me cut away from you for 1 second because I got to get my questions ready and move them onto the side so that no one sees what I'm asking you. Again, guys, I'm a horrible interviewer. Don't judge me. We're just happy to have Comrade Casey here. And if you guys want to ask Comrade Casey any questions, please feel free to shoot any questions in the live chat. It's probably going to be easier if it's a super chat because it'll stand out. Also, members and patrons, y'all have left some questions for Comrade Casey, which we'll read a little bit later on the show. So, Comrade Casey, I just wanted to say congrats on 70,000 subs. Oh, so they're saying you're way louder. I don't know if there's something you could do to cut your audio a bit. I'll try to cut down my desktop audio a tiny bit, like that. So I'm going to decrease the desktop audio. Go ahead and say quick something, and then we'll see. Veronica sends another 6 shekels, and Petfuls G has become a member. Thank you so much for joining the family. Marina, again, thank you for the gifted.
All right, I lowered my input a little bit.
I think this will be better because I lowered you on my end as well. I just figured it out. Okay. Sorry. So let us know if it's better now. Comrade Casey, congrats on 70,000 subscribers. I saw your tweet yesterday. The community's growing. I'm super happy for you. You've been an amazing, you've been such a positive voice when it comes to pro-Palestinian voices, leftist voices online. We've been losing a couple of leftist voices. Lol overruled apparently is gone, so we need replacements. And it's nice to have you here. Now they're saying you're a little too quiet. I'm going to raise you back up.
A little too quiet, okay.
So we're very happy to have you on. Congrats on 70K. I just wanted to ask you, and this might sound like a silly question, but what made you want to be a communist, in the United States? And can you give us just a quick overview of why you're a communist? What is it about communism that you think can help America? And why is this a message that you kind of want to spread?
Sure. I mean, it all kind of started at the pandemic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was introduced to Hassan through the H3 podcast. And, I don't know. I was sort of like a Bernie bro. I think we can all sort of associate with being a Bernie bro in 2019, 2020. I mean, that's unfortunate the way Bernie's gone lately, but we can talk about that later.
We will.
But, sort of after discovering Hassan and just sort of being introduced to more, I guess, socialist thought, you could say, even though I have some disagreements with Hassan nowadays. But personally, where it stemmed from for me, sort of being introduced to communism and more distinct from what we consider Bernie bro socialism, is an emphasis on imperialism. We sort of have a issue in the modern left, the mainstream left in America, where, I might get some flack for this, but the Zoran types they talk about, yeah.
Okay. So I thought we were going to talk about Bernie and AOC and the, other liberal Zionist type Democrats, like the Chuck Schumers, but you're going for Zoran Mamdani already.
No. Okay. Here, I'm going to give Zoran a chance because he's not even the mayor yet. I mean, come on. But he just posted a video with Elizabeth Warren. It was a
Oh
little
God.
weird,
Oh
but the AOC, the Bernie, those types who, they tout this socialist label. Can you hear that garbage truck outside my window?
no,
That's
no, you're
not
good.
good. Okay, okay.
At least you have
These
garbage trucks
people.
doing your thing. We're in Lebanon. We rarely hear garbage trucks doing what they're supposed to do. So
Oh
be
yeah, that's
thankful,
good.
Comrade
It's a
Casey, that
privilege.
garbage trucks are doing their thing over there in Minnesota, because we're not as lucky. And there's a heat wave happening right now, and all that garbage is like festering, and it's hot,
That's
and
brutal. Yeah, no, you're right. So like AOC and Bernie, they tout this democratic socialism thing, and they're kind of the gods of the quote unquote like progressive left in America.
hmm
But then, like I talked about this in my last NSR video, AOC just like votes to send more weapons to Israel. And
Yep.
it's that difference that is sort of the I see a problem with, because when I first started sort of being introduced to communism, it was actually through learning more about North Korea.
hmm
Because when you're in America, the things you're taught about North Korea are like mind-blowingly. I've Once I dove into the lies we're told about North Korea, it kind of changes the way entirely that you see the world. Um, Other countries, like whatever you were taught about all the wars, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and Cuba and China, it just makes you start second guessing things like that. And that was sort of my introduction to sort of an alternative thought from even the progressive Bernie bro types from like 2020.
Uh, you recently got into some controversy with a tweet of yours. Let me just take a second right here,
Did I?
and cut to that really quickly, just to show the audience who doesn't know what I'm talking about. So Comrade Casey had this tweet that kind of went viral. Libs refuse to confront the
Uh-oh.
contradictions of their deified politicians, and then someone says they saying you fuck with ACP and their friends. Is this true, big bro? This is Angelo Statlander, and then you reply by saying you fuck with AOC, and then Angelo replies by saying you fuck with Jackson Hinkle, and then you reply by saying Jackson Hinkle has never voted to send billions of dollars in weapons to Israel. And that response of yours, Jackson Hinkle has never voted to send billions of dollars in weapons to Israel, kind of caused a stir. We got some responses down there, people being like, no fucking way. I've been introduced to a new side of the left that fucks with Jackson Hinkle. Johanna says, I hate AOC, but he endorsed Zionists. Felipe says, all you crackers stick together, huh? And then Jeff Porter says, Jackson Hinkle is a Nazi, come the fuck on, Lamau. And it kind of continues on. You're getting some sort of a pushback, but you've also mentioned this tweet that you wanted me to bring up, sent out by Seraph, which says, I don't agree with Jackson Hinkle's politics, but he's cool, to be honest. So, Comrade Casey, explain yourself. We've talked about Jackson Hinkle a couple of times on this show because, like, he fucking came to Lebanon, bro, to attend, like, Nasrallah's funeral. Like, that dude is everywhere. Anytime there's, like, an event that is highly publicized, he will show up. So I definitely do think that he's kind of a grifter, but controversial take. I do kind of agree with you that, like, okay, the most harm that he's done is, like, okay, being a grifter, he hasn't actively signed legislation that has provided Israel with funding to buy weapons that end up killing Palestinians. So if that's the point you're making, I'm kind of there with you.
Thank you. That's really all I was trying to say, because I don't know if I would say I quote unquote fuck with Jackson Hinkle. I mean, my friends over at shit, I can't even think of the name now. This is bad. They mentioned from an outsider's perspective, you can get all frustrated with, I don't know, you can say whatever you want to say about Jackson, but it's just weird to put your energy towards that. Like, he has very little power.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. And from an outsider perspective, it's just kind of funny. Like, this like white guy from Los Angeles.
It is kind of
he's
funny.
in front of like he's in front of the Houthis, just like giving a speech. It's like a movie. It's like, it's just funny.
I know. He's very much like an opportunist, and like so in that sense. But like I get what you were saying in terms of, like, at least he's not causing any actual like harm on the ground. You know what I mean? He's a douche. He's a grifter. He's trying to make money off of this. He's trying to take advantage of the situation. Who knows what he actually thinks or cares about, like, deep down? But Just want to highlight a couple of messages that you got, Comrade. CH sends $2 and says, how to groom a badass mustache, Comrade Casey. And Half Tooth Replica also sends in $2 and says, love the mustache, Comrade. So any quick mustache tips that you can give us? How do you groom this bad boy?
Mustache tips. I mean, first of all, you gotta have the genetics. And there's an issue with if you can grow a mustache, you're probably balding. So it's one of those give or takes, you can't have one without the other.
I can sadly relate, I guess.
Yeah. But I kind of just let it grow out, do its thing, trim it every once in a while. It's got a mind of its own. I try not to mess with it.
You kind of have like a Lebanese farmer mustache. They kind of extend and they twist the tips. So you kind of have that. Like I also genetics definitely. I have like 2 or 3 hairs that come out of like the same fucking like pore or whatever the fuck you want to call it, follicle. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Another quick question. So you were just talking about AOC and Bernie and sort of like how they've become like fake progressives at this point. Like Bernie refuses to call what's happening in Palestine a genocide. AOC voting to send defensive money to Israel. So I guess we touched on that, and we don't really need to. Is there anything else you want to say about Bernie? Like I'm extremely disappointed. Like when Obama was running, I remember being excited and voted for Obama back in 2012. And then when Bernie came out in 2016, that like opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, holy fuck, what have I been doing this whole time? Socialism is the way. Bernie is the way. I still have like a Bernie Sanders sticker stuck on my like door here. I have like tons of Bernie shirts. Like Bernie really got me excited about U.S. politics again and gave me hope. And when he almost like got the nomination instead of Biden in 2020, like I was very fucking excited. And look, I still do think that he's a net positive. Like he is the only sort of mainstream the biggest mainstream politician calling to cut off weapons to Israel. He is, like he is very much saying the right things, but he's not calling it a genocide. I don't think he should be thrown in the garbage because we still need his influence in trying to cut funding to Israel. But the fact that he's refusing to call it a genocide to me is just kind of nauseating. And it's like, bro, like, what are you doing? But I do think his actions, as pissed as I am and as disappointed as I am in Bernie, I still do think his actions are a net positive. I don't know how he voted for the defensive bills, defensive weapons to Israel. If he voted to send them money, then fuck him. Like, you know what I mean? Then
yeah, Bernie's a tricky one for me. I mean, the more I learn about his past and the things he stands for now, I kind of feel more like the whole Bernie socialism thing is kind of rooted in sort of a lie, not to burst anyone's bubble. But yeah, well, first of all, he is funded by a quote unquote progressive Zionist PAC.
Oh fuck.
I think it's called J Street or something.
Okay, I had no
idea. They
idea.
basically do what AIPAC does, but in like a progressive manner, which is still, funding imperialism. So it's really no different. It's just an optical difference.
Well, I mean, if Bernie's fucked and if AOC's compromised, and if you're saying that Zohran Mamdani is also compromised, and he was like the face, he's the future of the Democratic Party. And like right now,
I'll give him Pete Buttigieg. I'll give him the chance.
We'll give him like right now we have Pete Buttigieg doing like the podcast circuits and being like, should Palestine be a state? That's a complicated question. It's like, oh my, like, are they really gonna like fucking run this guy in 2028? So like, what do the Democrats, who do we look to? If it's not like, and it's sad that Zohran is the only answer because like we need more than just one guy. Like, so like, I think the Democrats are genuinely fucked. And I'm becoming more and more convinced that like we can't change the party from the inside. We need a third party. Like this whole, we'll change it from the inside, join them, and then we'll slowly move them to the left. It's like you've been trying that for decades, and they're only moving more to the center. They're only moving closer to the right. So it's like clearly not working. So like Democrats should just be their own fucking party. Liberal Zionists, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, like neoliberals. But it is not the left. It is not where I think the majority of like young Americans want to go.
I mean, kind of fucked. At the end of the day, we look at China and we say, oh, it's a one-party state because it's governed by the Communist Party or whatever. But America is a one-party state just as much as China is, because at the end of the day, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they're fighting for the same cause, and
Exactly.
they've found these two identities with different, propaganda pipelines, with different metrics that they're looking to heighten or whatever. And through this, they've been able to basically succeed in the same manner as each other on the one common goal of just complete and utter control of the entire global economy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth trying to fix. And that's where Bernie's he was an interesting character because he did run independent. And I think he's still technically an
Registered
independent
as an independent.
senator from Vermont, but he still is hand in hand with the Democratic Party, which is very frustrating. I think, yeah, maybe third party or just people just need to start running independent. I feel like Zoran would have my full support if he ran independent. The only issue I really have with him is that he's in the Democratic Party. So if he goes against their platform, he's basically out of commission. Like he doesn't really have autonomy.
He's probably gonna.
So
I fear that he's gonna do the AOC thing. Like he's starting off on our sides, doing and saying the right things, but then little by little he's gonna get embraced by the Democratic sort of machine, and then bit by bit he's gonna hang around with more consultants and more like whatever people that poison the minds of politicians. Like at least Rashida Tlaib is still out there. There's still a few people out there fighting, but like other than that,
it really doesn't come down to character. It comes down to do you have like sovereignty in the government as Zoran or whatever? And he just doesn't, because he's captured by the Democrats. So I don't know. It doesn't.
I completely agree with you that it's a false choice. Like elections in America at this point are completely like it's an illusion. You know what I mean? You want to pick between these war hawks, the liberal war hawks who support gay people, or the war hawks who don't like gay people and are more open about it and hate immigrants. Like that is essentially the conversation. It's boiled down to such like stupidity, to be honest with you. Quick, just random questions about like politics on the left, the commentary. Did you know anything about Law Overruled? Were you like did you ever consume his? I saw him twice on Hassan's stream. That was it. You know, people were like, damn the left, and like we need more male commentators on the left, and like all these white dudes. I was like, bro, I didn't even know this guy was like a thing. Do you know anything about this guy? Like, did you consume his content? Is it a loss?
No.
Did the leftist community just lose someone, or is it like, okay, whatever, we can move on from this dude?
I don't think he left an impact of any sort. Just kind of I don't know, sleazeball seems.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I saw him. Though I think the one most prominent stream he was featured in is when Hassan went to the UCLA
Protests?
encampment.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was there for that. I mean, I don't really know.
Well, quick question on Mike from PA was recently friend of the show, also Mike from PA. Again, I had Korean barbecue with Mike from PA in Los Angeles. Mike, thank you for that lovely lunch. Wow. I expect Korean barbecue, Comrade Casey, when I'm in Minnesota. Okay, it is the minimum.
We'll see. I don't know if we have that.
You Americans, you guys love your Korean barbecue. You definitely have Korean barbecue. Google it. You're gonna find like 7 spots around you. You're gonna be surprised. So I ended up saying Judaism is like a demonic ethnicity. He meant to talk about Zionism. I said what he said definitely sounds fucked up, and he should apologize for it. If you just take what he said on its own, it sounds very anti-Semitic. Like you can't dance around it. But if you've consumed any of Mike's content from before or after, the dude is not in any way, shape, or form an anti-Semite. It's pretty easy to tell when someone is anti-Semitic. Okay, I've been around anti-Semites. You can sniff them out very quickly. As someone who spent a little bit of time with him and who has actually spoken with him, I can tell that it's just something stupid that he said. He kind of put his foot in his mouth, confused two things. When you're streaming for 7, 8 hours, however many hours you're streaming, when you're talking about these concepts, Zionism and Judaism, and conflating the two, especially when Israel is doing its best to conflate Zionism and Judaism, I don't blame someone for accidentally wanting to talk about Zionism, and maybe he said Judaism. Should he apologize for it? Of course. Should he block people that are calling him out? No, etc. But what do you think? I mean, as an outsider, I don't know if you've ever had any contact with Mike from PA, if you ever talked with him, but like, what do you think about that whole situation? Is Mike from PA like Lolo, or is Mike someone that we should hold on to? And actually, like, no one wants to like defend someone if they say something like racist or fucked up. But like, again, in his case, Mike has said and done so much good that it's very easy to kind of like snuff out, like, okay, this was clearly a moment where he misspoke, at least in my opinion. But if anyone got offended by what he said, I'm not qualified, and who am I to tell you not to get offended, especially if you're Jewish and you're a fan of his content. But I definitely think that he's a person who deserves a second chance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what did he say? I think he said Jewish is a demonic religion or something.
Ethnicity, I think. He's like, it's a made-up ethnicity.
Okay.
So he was saying like how it's a made-up ethnicity and it's a demonic ethnicity. So he could have been saying that like Zionism is made up. Again, it sounds fucked up, and he definitely owes people an apology for saying it. But like, it's like, okay, is he an anti-Semite? Because that word has been thrown around right now so liberally, so easily. Apparently, I'm an anti-Semite. You're an anti-Semite. Everyone we talk to is an anti-Semite on the left, apparently now. If you don't agree with what Israel's doing, you are an anti-Semite, apparently. So that word is losing all meaning, kind of, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going off facts here, I'm not defending him. I mean, it seems like just a poor choice of words, and yeah, he meant to say Zionism or whatever.
Very poor choice of words.
But I mean, let's think to like early America. White was like British people, and then it became British people and
Italians and Irish.
Yeah. So then I guess, he's not wrong. I mean, Ashkenazi is the ethnicity. Jewish is the religion.
Yes.
So I sort of see where he's coming from.
Look,
and
I also never thought of Judaism as an ethnicity. I always thought of it as a religion. Now, if there are some like genetic markers or something, I truly have no idea. To me, it's a religion. Just like Islam is a religion, Christianity is a religion. I never thought of it as, oh, it's an ethnic group. Like Jews are an ethnic group. So I personally never thought of it that way, but if that's what it is, who am I to argue that?
Yeah. I mean, you have like Sephardic Jews and Ethiopian Jews, and there's Jewish people all over the country, or all over the world.
So it's more of like a religion, I guess, right? So I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think they call it a ethno-religion, I think, because Ashkenazi Jews are, I guess, a dominant ethnicity within the religion, so it's like it's sort of similar. But yeah, I don't know. Mike, I haven't had any interactions with him besides like in his Twitch chat. I think he said I could come on the show sometime. Hasn't happened yet, so
all right.
We'll have to
maybe now's not the best time. I'm kidding. Mike from PA, we love you. He's a good dude, and I hope to have Mike on. Like I mentioned to you, we're doing a fundraiser sometime this month to try to help out families in Gaza. I want to try to get as many friends of the show on. We'd love to have you back on, Comrade Casey. That would be an honor. We got a question here from Tani, who says, fellow Minneapolis comrade here, Casey, do you have local recommendations for the best IRL initiatives / organizations to get involved in right now?
I mean, I've gone to my most interactions with like DSA, PSL, what's the other one? FRSO. It's mostly just like showing up to protests and oh, there goes the power.
We lost I still got you though. we lost the power. This happens all the time.
Okay. So personally, like don't even get me started on the DSA. We all saw what some of those resolutions were.
Yeah, crazy.
Over the past couple days. So I would be a little hesitant to get involved with DSA. They're basically just a branch of the Democratic Party at this point. Personally, I would kind of just, you can pick whichever one. PSL is kind of the most, I don't know. They seem to not be as tied to the Democrats. I mean, not as much as DSA, I guess. Anti-war, general anti-imperialist organizations that are less involved with politics, because at the end of the day, it's so hard to I mean, I don't think PSL has a single elected official. I might be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know DSA has some, like Minneapolis, for example, we have our entire city council, or a majority of our city council is DSA, but
Mm-hmm.
they're also they're DSA and their Democratic Party. Only
Okay.
one of them is only DSA. So I don't know. It kind of gets tricky with the parties and everything. But Anti-War Minnesota is the organization that I am most involved in.
Anti-war
Um,
Minnesota. Okay, that sounds pretty legit.
they do protests at like there's a what do they call it? It's the so there's like a state pension, and it's I don't even know how it works. They're like invested in different things, and a big chunk of the pension for Minnesotans is in Israel and Israeli companies.
Damn. Okay.
So we go to the board of investments meetings and stuff like that. They're definitely the most um, anti-imperialist organization I've found. A lot of the parties, like what I was saying earlier, it gets kind of tricky with, oh, I'm socialist, but I don't support China or something. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of weird. So I would just stick to the strictly anti-war, anti-imperialist organizations like Anti-War Minnesota.
Okay. And also, I mean, I would recommend Tiny to follow Comrade Casey on Twitter because you're generally pretty open about sort of like things that you're reading. You started a book club, so you are building like sort of like a community over there. So if you do
Oh
want
yeah.
any more details and whatever he's involved in, I'm sure you can get some more insight.
Hop in the NSR Discord.
Through Twitter, NSR Discord as well. Fuck yeah. Send me the link later. I'll add it to the description of the video
All right, sweet.
for the Discord. I'm gonna end this call just real quick because we have 3 minutes left, and then I'm gonna start a brand new call because I don't have a Zoom Pro. So just give me a moment. Comment. I'm
All
gonna
right.
send you a brand new link in just 1 second. There you go. How do you guys like that? Okay, we don't have the budget to get Zoom Pro, but that's okay. Are they gonna make me wait to do another call? No, there we go. Boom, started a new call. This is super fun. I saw some of your super chats. Far Twain and Nogzalotl. I'm gonna ask him. Don't you worry. Copy invite link. Let's send it to our boy. I'm having a lot of fun with this, guys. He's so fucking cool. Such a nice conversation. So super chill. I was so nervous of this. I was so nervous, but it's going well. He's such a chill guy. Hey, you guys are enjoying it. Nice, awesome. There we go. We got him back. Boom. And we're back. That's how we do it on the Do Not Worry podcast, folks. We get power cuts. We get Zoom basic. That's how we do it. Comrade Casey, got a question for you from Far Twain. Question for Casey. How should we feel about the H3 crew at this point? Give them grace, or are they as bad as Ethan? Primarily asking about AB. We're going to get into H3 a little bit, but Far Twain got a little excited, so let's get into it. What do you think about the H3 crew? Should we give them some grace, or are they as bad as Ethan? Primarily asking about AB.
Okay. Well, to take it back to some of the early days of NSR, I made one video about Ethan before October 7.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I made two videos, but my first video after October 7 was basically glazing the crew. I was
Okay.
like, Ethan's been doing all this bullshit, but at the end of the day, the crew is based. And I
Mm-hmm.
look back on that, and I think I was obviously more than incorrect, because I mean, it's honestly sad at this point. Like looking back, you were like, when are they gonna leave? When are they gonna leave? It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. And like Sam and Ian, they left, and who else left?
Cam left as well.
Yeah, Cam. And it's hard to say. I think when Ian was leaving, he was like, "Oh, don't think this is because of any drama or anything. I'm just deciding to leave." I don't know if I really believe that. It probably had something to do with it. I mean, he slowly kind of got out of the picture, even
Ian,
while
yeah,
he was
he's
still
been like
working
stepping
there.
away for a while, but also
Yeah.
he had broken up with Sam. I don't want to get too parasocial, but like him and Sam broke up apparently, and people are saying that might be one reason that he wanted to like step away from the podcast or something. I'm not entirely sure
Sure.
about all of that. It's private. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah. No. Let's stay out of
Sorry
it.
for
But
bringing it up.
no, no. But you know, they're one thing, you know, Olivia's another thing, but the worst is definitely AB and Lena,
Yeah.
and in a different way, Dan. Dan's
Yeah.
my least favorite. I almost hate Dan more than Ethan at this point because, you know, Ethan's obviously got some screws loose. I'm working
Hmm.
on a video right now connecting heavy Ozempic use to Zionist brain rot. It
Oh,
rots
that's
away
gonna be
your
awesome.
fat, so it probably rots away your brain too.
That's so funny.
But Dan, I mean, Dan was supposed to be the captain of the ship, you know,
Yeah.
not letting it sink, not letting anyone go overboard. But and don't even get me started about his background. I mean, he's talked about this on the show. He comes from a great line of Bolshevik um, Russians who worked hand in hand with Vladimir Lenin during the Russian Revolution in
Oh my
1917.
God.
I think his name is God, what is it? It's something Sverdlov.
Sverdlov,
If you
yeah.
just look it up, you'll see it. But
I always thought that was like a nickname for Twitter. I never knew that was his actual last
yeah,
name. Also, just as a quick follow-up. So, like you were an H3 fan, like myself, you're a Fallen fan. You used to consume H3
100%.
content. Like what's your relationship with the podcast before even criticizing Ethan? Like you used to consume H3, big fan, you knew all the lore, all that sort of thing?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, uh, the the worst was what was it? They basically that first episode where they talked about me for like 45 minutes, calling me an anti-Semite and looking through all my Reddit history. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think you can kind of tell from that. I was like a major fan. I had a clips channel. I had that parody love channel that everyone loves
Oh,
talking
that's
about
right.
on
That's right.
Twitter. I had a love clips channel on YouTube. I was just, you know, I'd gone through a breakup recently after that, so I was like fully invested. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making clips, I'm doing all this shit. But it slowly, once leftovers started, you kind of started, or at least I started to realize that Ethan wasn't as left as he like put out, like
Mm-hmm.
as he made it seem, because he would bring up stuff like China and
And
he had
capitalism
that.
and like yeah, he
Yeah,
would he would get
and
uncomfortable with with some concepts when he and Hassan would talk about them, and yeah, like he would pull a little bit back, like yo, like I'm a leftist, but like I'm not as far left as
right.
like you guys are when it comes to that.
Yeah. And they had Richard Wolff on to talk about Ukraine, and I was kind of surprised they did that. And I don't think Ethan just he doesn't even know what he's talking about, so he didn't really try to push back at all. He's just
Hmm.
not informed about really any of the context. But and then once October 7 happened, I was always like I'd been sort of based about Palestine, as they say. So when October 7 happened, I was like, okay, I mean, Ethan's an idiot. He
Yeah.
doesn't really know anything that he's talking about in terms of geopolitics. But you know, in a few days he'll figure it out. So that was unfortunate, but I mean, good riddance.
Like that's what's crazy. Like I mean, the fact that you're such a big fan, like that just goes to show how like they refuse to listen. Like people like us, people that you've made fucking clips. I started a whole podcast inspired by H3 here in Lebanon. Like we literally are we were probably in like the top 10 or top 5 percentile of like very dedicated, loving fans that love that community. And just I remember like leaving a few comments like, yo, why is Ethan making like Zionist talking points? And like the shit would get deleted like off of their Reddit and shit. I was like, there's no room for like conversation even. I'm not even like insulting these people. I'm like, hey, shouldn't Ethan rethink what he's saying? And like that was enough to get banned. And when I made a video talking about Ethan, I got all these like fallen fans that were like, hey, I got kicked off the subreddit for just asking questions. And it was
Yep.
just they weren't even letting people like communicate. And then now they're so happy to like label us as like these anti-Semitic pieces of shit. It's like, bro, we spent money supporting you guys. Like, that I all of a sudden decide to hate Jews and be like, hey, fuck H3, I'm an anti-Semite now. Like, bro, we've been supporting you for fucking years. Like, I have so much Teddy
Yeah.
Fresh in my closet right now, bro. So I always find that like if they wouldn't listen to like their most dedicated fans, like, and I don't like, they're stuck with like the worst audience now, essentially. Like all of their best, most dedicated fans, smartest fans, I would say, are gone, and now they just have fucking slop consumers. I just want to read a quick note from Noxolotl, who sent $5 saying, supposedly, most Latinos have a small percentage of Ashkenazi or Sephardic because of early migration to Latam to escape the Spanish Inquisition, FYI. So thank you for that note, Noxolotl. But back to the crew and Fartwain's question. So do you extend at this point? Like, I agree with you. I do think enough time has passed. Those first few months, maybe the crew's sitting there like, hey, maybe Ethan and Eli are going to come around on this. Maybe they're going to say the right thing or do the right thing. At this point, Ethan and Ela have burnt bridges with like friends of the crews, with Frogan, with iDubbbz for like AB, with Adam McIntyre for Olivia. Like they've literally gone out and ruined those friendships. You now have, I think most young creators that are pro-Palestine want nothing to do with the H3 podcast. They don't want to, they never want to collaborate with that show. They're going to have a much harder time getting guests on that show. They're stuck with people like Willie Mack, Mutahar, Keemstar, like just the Nick the Oreo, just the shittiest people online. That's their new audience. And yeah, I think at this point the crew, like there was a clip from a member stream where they were talking about like Love Island, and Ethan made Olivia cry or whatever, talking about like sexual assault. It's like, I definitely felt bad for her because it's a fucked up situation to be in. But part of me is like, well, you chose to stay here. You chose to take the money to stay here. Like just yesterday, they're doing all. Ethan is sitting there like fucking denying the Nakba, and that's another thing. Like they're getting worse with their propaganda. You'd think
that was crazy.
You'd think they'd stop. He's out there doing like Nakba revisionism yesterday, literally. Like you know what started the Nakba? Like the Arabs were attacking. It's like, oh my god, bro. And AB just fucking sits there. So at this point, I would say the crew is complicit. The crew have made it clear. AB has even made it clear. He's like, what other job do you want me to get if I leave this job? So he's literally said he doesn't even think he can get another job. So like, hey, you did that to yourself, bro. I don't care for them anymore. I'm not going to extend any charity. Obviously, if someone is like crying on set and like because of sexual harassment, I'm going to feel bad for them. I'm going to feel bad for Olivia. Like, I'm a human being. I want the best for AB and Lena and all of those people. But like at this point, they're complicit. They're part of the team. They're helping Ethan do research. They sit there quietly as he spews propaganda. Zach is fully Zionist brained. Like he likes Noah Tishby, posts on Instagram. He thinks that the ICJ is like wrong for trying to go after Netanyahu. He's like completely gone. But okay, no, I feel you. We're gonna get. Let me see. We got another question from Love from Rochester, Minnesota. Mustafa Jav.
Hello
Thank
there.
you, Mustafa.
Welcome.
Okay, let's jump to Ethan. I was gonna ask about leftist commentary, but like before we jump officially back into H3, what do you think about the lack of minorities and leftist commentary on YouTube and on Twitch? Sean the Black made a very interesting point when he was saying like everyone is looking for the Joe Rogan of the left to try to reach white men. How do we reach white men? Did we have that? Technically, I'm Arab, so I'm part of the solution, I guess, right? I'm not a white man. I may sound like a white man, but I'm not. I'm Arab, folks, so I'm part of the solution. You're welcome, everyone. But do we need more people like me, Comrade Casey, to fix the problem that you white men have caused?
I mean, you know, we need a face for everyone. And I think, I mean, you hold an important role as someone in the heart of imperialist exploit in, the 21st century. And, the more perspectives, the merrier. I mean, it's what our role really is we're propagandists. And people see that as a negative term, but I mean, Hassan, he describes himself as a propagandist. You're really just using these tools and using your methods to get your audience to, be able to hear the truth and believe in the truth.
True.
And with that, I mean, I talked about this earlier. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party are very good, owned by the ruling class. They're very good at the propaganda. And we need to be countering that propaganda with as much different focal points as possible for, different groups. You speak to people, that share your background, or I guess, I don't know, your personal history, I guess. Yeah, your perspective. And there's more trust there, I guess. And at the end of the day, it's good propaganda to be able to reach as many people as possible.
I agree. And by the way, I don't even consider myself like a leftist commentator. Our show, like the show started as an H3 type show where we reacted to like cringy Lebanese TikTokers and stuff. But when the war started, when the genocide started in Gaza, I was like, I can't fucking sit here and talk about fucking TikTok while this is happening just a few kilometers away. So we kept talking about it. And like what happens in Lebanon, because we go through a lot of shit like explosions or bombs or like some kind of an attack or something. And then I kind of judge the public perception of it on like my Instagram stories. Like how quickly are people going to move on from this tragedy that happened and start posting food pictures again and like going out to clubs. So when I noticed that attention was waning and people started just talking about their lives again, I was like, I got to keep talking about this, because if we don't, and I don't see how a normal person can see what's happening in Gaza and be like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to make content about it. Like I don't want to raise awareness about what's happening. And then the war like came here, it came to Lebanon. So I was like, okay, now I have to keep talking about it, because I'm not going to fucking talk about dumbass videos and react to videos while Israel is literally bombing my people. So I accidentally fell into this whole thing. You know what I mean? And I just felt like it was important to share my perspective, especially when seeing channels like H3 with millions of subscribers sharing one side of a story. I was like, okay, I actually live here. My voice needs to be out there. And now, having done that for a few months, now I feel this sense of responsibility. I'm not a political commentator. I'm not qualified to be a political commentator, but whatever I can do to lend my voice to the conversation, in however way, if it can help, you know, I definitely want to try to do that, because a lot of people need that stuff.
Well, if you need a American correspondent, I'm happy to call in if you got any questions when it comes to American politics.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? We'd love
or
to have
any global
you're
politics.
You're part of the family already, Comrade Casey. So speaking of Ethan Klein, so you are the man that caused Ethan Klein's Clown Works as well, his crash out. And we talked about you watching H3, so you being a fan. What do you think? Do you still think, I mean, when I first started covering H3, I was like, okay, you know what? He's spreading dangerous propaganda. We need to counter this. Do you still think at this point, a year and a half into his propaganda, do you still think Ethan is a threat, or at this point has he revealed himself to just be kind of like a clown and on this one man like war versus Hassan? And should we stop taking him seriously? Because I'll be honest with you, at this point, like it's getting harder for me to watch like Ethan Klein as a Zionist videos, because I'm like, we have covered these points to death for the past like year and a half. It's like, what else is there to say? Do you think he's still kind of a danger, or that's it? He's kind of doing his own thing and we can just like point and laugh at this point?
Yeah, I mean, honestly think he hasn't really been a danger since like 2024 maybe. Like when he was still, I mean, he still gets, 500,000 views, but I don't really know if he's reaching any new audiences.
No.
I don't know if he's really pushing the boundaries on mainstream narratives. I don't know. I think people kind of just think he's an idiot, but I think it's still the main place where he really comes into play is the propaganda that I was talking about. Propaganda it's much more effective when you bounce it off of, pop culture figures, get people to click your video. That one guy that I forget his name, that British guy.
The British guy. Oh,
like a British guy who makes like some Ethan videos. I forget his name.
Chris Kunzler?
Yeah. He kind of does this where
friend of the show. We love Chris.
Yeah, he'll make a video like about Ethan or whatever. And Noah Samson does this too. It's like titled Ethan Klein yada yada. And the entire video is just going over Israel's crimes. Yeah. You're just getting people to click on these things by using Ethan's
as an entry point. Those drama lovers, slop tube fans who will not click on a video unless Ethan Klein's name is on there. Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, he's universally understood at this point to be like an idiot. So it's kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna click on that. Why not?
Hey, I'm doing that today. He's on this thumbnail. I want to talk about him and Anna Kasparian later. You know what I mean? Yep. So
my next video is about him. So I'm still using his name.
Thank you, Ethan Klein. Are you following up a little bit on the Anna Kasparian versus Ethan Klein situation, what's happening there. What's funny to me is that he's calling Anna Kasparian a token Armenian, essentially being like, you're just sitting there to excuse Cenk for the Armenian genocide. I'm like, he's literally saying that in front of AB. I'm like, you have AB and Lena sitting right across from you. You're two token Arabs who are sitting there to basically like justify what Israelis are doing, and you're calling Anna Kasparian a token. By the way, we're not here to defend Anna. What are your thoughts on TYT in general? Because everyone knows they've had their crash out of their own for the past like few months. It's not like TYT is like high on anyone's like list of esteemed characters right now. They've fallen out of favor with the left. So for him and Anna to be going after each other, it's like you're both having crash outs of your own right now. So
yeah, I was never a TYT watcher. The most I know about it is that like my dad was a fan way back in the day. I mean, it is interesting. Like, what's his name? Theo Vaughn, for example, just to make this point. He's said a lot of dumb shit. I think he became famous by like writing an article standing against interracial marriage or something. So like,
oh damn, really?
He has like this weird, he's an interesting character, but you can take these grains of truth, as I like to say, from everyone's rhetoric. And people still have respect for Theo Vaughn because of he's very staunchly anti-Israel. And I don't think it's coming from an anti-Semitic standpoint. He sees the destruction, and he sees the evils of Zionism. And you know, when it comes down to the Anna Kasparian, Ethan Klein debate, it's not about like picking a personality to side with. It's about the greater idea. And Anna seems to be very vocal about her anti-Zionist stance, and I agree with that. And I think any noise, any voice standing against that has a place. I mean, she has said a lot of things I disagree with, and I think aren't very worth talking about, and they're just kind of a waste of time. But when it comes down to the meat of the argument, I encourage her to, you know, debate Ethan Klein or however this is going to end.
So she's had some terrible takes lately about like trans people in sports. She's had terrible takes about like a gang of I can't remember, like a Latino gang somewhere. Like her and Cenk have been going on this like centrist sort of like grift. They're trying to reach out to more Republicans and stuff, and they've been paying the price for it publicly. But I still think, like you said, she's extremely based on Palestine. Anytime she talks about Palestine, anytime she shows up on Piers Morgan, she's really passionate. She really knows her stuff. So I think she's a great commentator on the story. But I also think, like, I mean, Ethan has basically willed this drama into existence. He's been sitting on his couch for the past 3 weeks, making Instagram stories about her, trying to bait her to respond to him. And now she finally took the bait. That's essentially what he does. Like, I don't think she would even care about him in that situation. And the fact that he's bringing up the TYT thing, like, why do you work for a company that's called TYT? And the Young Turks are the people that perpetrated the genocide against Armenians in the past. It's like, bro, it's 2025. Everyone, like, people have talked about why the network is called TYT. Like, that was a controversy like maybe 10 to 15 years ago. At this point, like, who cares really?
Yeah.
Like, I will agree with Ethan. Like, it's a questionable name for I'm Assyrian. I'm half Assyrian. So technically the Young Turks also like genocided like 200 to 300,000 Assyrians back then. I used to watch TYT. I mean, I'm older than you. You're in your 20s. I'm 34. So I'm significantly older than you are. So I used to kind of watch TYT like when Bernie was running, like a couple of elections ago. I was kind of into TYT, but like I've kind of lost I kind of stopped watching. But yeah, the Anna versus Ethan situation is funny, but it's literally just manufactured drama. He's literally been on his phone for 2 weeks trying to bait her into responding. Now she has, so he spent like 40 minutes yesterday talking about it because their podcast is dying, and the only way he can keep it relevant is by baiting someone into drama. And that's what he does. He just talks shit about people on Instagram stories, hopes for someone to respond. Someone responds, boom, they're on the thumbnail of his next episode. This person called me out. I need to respond. And that's how they keep the show alive at this point. You know what I mean? The lawsuits, to me, the lawsuits are way more, at this point, destructive than his Israel propaganda. The Israel propaganda, no one buys it unless you're a fucking idiot or a moron. I think he's really being harmful in like setting these dangerous precedents of like just suing anyone who says something you don't like about you on YouTube, essentially, and silencing people. And if, God forbid, he ends up winning any of these lawsuits, he's going to be he's really setting some dangerous precedents that are going to ruin content creation, YouTube, and commentary, and free speech. Like, he used to be a free speech warrior and a fair use warrior, and now he's
Yeah,
completely gone
that's how
the
he gained
opposite
notoriety.
direction.
Yeah.
One
And
second,
just
I'm
to
gonna.
take it back to Anna Kasparian for a sec.
Yes.
Um, the yeah, she said a lot of dumb shit, and that's why I wouldn't like blanket. It's important to take what you can from these voices. And to use an example, Norman Finkelstein, who like everyone loves
Hmm.
in the pro-Palestine left, but he has said some questionable things about, or his takes on gender and trans issues and these things like that. But is he making his platform on that, or is this just something someone asked an old guy and he
Hmm.
gave his honest opinion? And that doesn't change what he says about Palestine. So I don't think we should be like the whole Anna Ethan thing. Um, yes, she's a valid voice in the anti-Zionist space at the very least.
And to go back on the dangerous stuff, like Ethan platformed Ahmed Fouad Al Khatib on his podcast at least once, maybe twice, and that guy like talked openly about how the Palestinian reporter Anas Al Sharif was like a danger and was like part of Hamas, and he just got murdered 2 days ago. Him
Yeah,
alongside 5 other journalists, Al Jazeera journalists. So
yeah,
I will take that back. There is actually some real present danger of Ethan platforming someone like Ahmed Fouad Al Khatib, giving that man a louder voice, a bigger megaphone to speak through.
yep.
It's not that Israel was waiting on his article or on his tweet to murder these journalists, but his tweet and the fact that he's a Palestinian saying that, look, some of these journalists are possibly Hamas operatives, is kind of giving Israel the whatever reasoning, whatever excuse they need to bomb people, and then people can go back and point to his tweet or his article like, look, this Palestinian man is even saying that some journalists are a problem and they should be taken care of. So I would like to correct myself on that point.
Yeah,
um
I agree with you there.
Anything else you want to talk about, like the H3 podcast? I'm going to react to some his segment once we're done with this call. I'm going to react to
Yeah.
his segment yesterday, talking about Anna, talking about the Nakba and all that sort of thing. Is there any parting message that you want to send to Ethan, the H3 subreddit, which loves watching these videos and like clipping them and stuff? Anything you want to let them know?
I mean, I'll say this to the crew first and foremost. I think you've dug yourself into a deep hole, but you know, if you want to come back, I think people will have open arms. You'll just have to,
Mm-hmm.
prove yourself a little bit, but it's not a lost cause. You can leave now. Um, it's gonna
We'll
be all
forgive
right.
you.
But what I'll say to Ethan is debate me, man. I've been reaching out to you. I've been trying to get you to debate me. All of a sudden, you talked about me 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times on your show. You name dropped me. And then this one day hit where you just stopped talking about me, stop mentioning my name. I think you're afraid of me, Ethan. So let's debate. Let's work out our differences.
You heard it here first. I mean, you heard it on Twitter and before, but you've heard him vocalize it with his voice, folks. Ethan Klein, Comrade Casey wants to debate you. Comrade Casey is coming for you. Don't be a coward. I think it would be a very productive conversation. There you go. Look, he's giving you the eyes. Don't fuck with him, Ethan. Ethan Klein, take the man. Take the man's challenge. Accept it. Comrade, I want to take your opinion. I'm about to let you go. Just a couple more questions, and then
All
I'm
right.
gonna hit you with some Patreon members questions. But first, what should Americans do? What's the best thing you think Americans can do to help Gaza right now, other than like raising money, protesting? What do you think? And
Um,
it's not even on you. I know your government is funding this, but like it's a lot. The Arab nations have abandoned Palestine. Like, it's not just on you, but like as an American, as someone who's concerned, who's sitting there, what can you do to help and try to feel better about the situation?
well, back in the 70s, China was going through some rough patches, and they unfortunately went through this cultural revolution where they, did some pretty violent things to some questionable folk, and it went a little bit too far. That's what they call ultra leftism or something in the Marxist space. But we can do a similar thing in America, and I think calling out calling out your Zionist politicians, your local politicians, whether it be your city council members, your mayors, your governors, your representatives in Congress. Um, we need to be really pushing a message that Zionism isn't going to be allowed. And with the whole going back to the whole DSA vote, I mean, 40% of Democratic Socialists for America voted against a bill that would officially state that DSA is anti-Zionist. So we have a very
Oh.
clear Zionist problem in America that even goes down to these quote unquote socialist spaces
Mm-hmm.
where people can call themselves a socialist. I mean, Tim Walz, when my governor here in Minnesota, when he was appointed vice president to Kamala's campaign, people were touting him as this socialist, and he did some good reform here and there with free lunches and stuff like that.
Hassan really liked him. Like Hassan was pushing, like
Yeah,
was super happy that he was chosen too.
yeah. But at the end of the day, he's a Zionist.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be calling that out, whether or not you agree with any of his other um, reforms. At the end of the day, he is a tool for the American empire, specifically in Israel. And we just really need to be putting pressure, more pressure on these quote unquote like our side politicians who
Mm-hmm.
really they're not on your side. It's an entire sham. They're working for the empire, and it's just another propaganda wing. So yeah, even these progressive, quote unquote progressive politicians, you still need to be be brutal
Yeah.
in a legal manner
They really have to
against
earn
their Zionism.
they really have to earn like your votes. They really have to earn votes, and you have to put their feet to the fire. And yeah, like this vote blue, no matter who, they can't assume that they're gonna get your vote. So
Mhm.
unless they're very clear on their stance on Zionism and like Israel, I think it's okay to withhold your vote, because I think there's this misconception, and Ethan Klein keeps saying it, like, look, if only you had voted for Kamala, look what would have happened. And Kamala, it's like, bro, the genocide happened under Kamala and Joe Biden. Like, nothing would have fucking changed, materially on the ground.
Yep.
So it's okay to punish them by not voting for them. Now, sometimes the Democrats don't learn their lesson. They've lost a few elections because people didn't vote for them, and they learn all of the wrong lessons, and they run the same candidate again. Like, they've just lost. They're probably, they want to run Pete Buttigieg in 2028. They don't learn the right lessons, but I think it is important to withhold your vote, really make them earn that fucking vote. And if they're not going to say the right things, then fuck them, let them lose. But when they do lose, then the Republicans take over, and then like it has all these negative effects. But like it's
Yep. And
I,
encourage if people are running that or they're a public figure, encourage them to run independent because
yeah,
you're not a sovereign citizen if you're running under the Democratic or the Republican Party.
that makes sense. Uh, any reading recommendation? Okay, we have 10 minutes left. I'm gonna try to get this done
Mhm.
quickly. Hope you're still good on time.
Yeah.
Any reading
Reading
recommendations if anyone wants to learn about communism? I know you shared a list, I think, on Twitter, and you started a book club, the North Star Radio book club. Any quick
Yeah.
reading recommendations you'd like to throw people? A good way to get started if you want to learn the basics of communism?
Here's some things not to start with. People always talk about Capital by Marx. That should be one of the last things you read after reading maybe 20 other books. I
Okay.
mean, first and foremost, it's more of a simple read. I mean, a lot of literature from even 100 years ago is kind of hard to follow, especially in like the philosophy space. But one
Mm-hmm.
of the easiest ones to sort of understand what is happening in the 21st century when it comes to imperialism is Imperialism by
Mm-hmm.
Lenin. Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism.
Okay.
I would read that. I would, I guess you could read the Communist Manifesto. It kind of gives a vague understanding of stuff, but it's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
I would read, Stalin gets a bad rap, but he's the one that synthesized Marxism, Leninism. I mean, it's named after Marx and Lenin, but he
Mm-hmm.
came up with that idea using, um, the economic uh, the economic theory from Marx and the political and sort of war theory of Lenin. So I would read what's it called? It's called Dialectical and Historical Materialism by Stalin. Um, what else? I mean,
That's a
that's
pretty
about
good
it.
start right there.
Yeah, it's a
That
decent
seems like a pretty.
start. It's
Looking at the
something here.
collection over there.
Yeah,
Uh,
start with
one.
that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the record. I definitely want to learn a little bit more, to be honest about it. To be honest with you, so I will follow your recommendations. I think you shared a photo once or a list of books, and I screenshotted that. If I'm not
Sweet.
mistaken. You want to stream? You want to get into streaming? Any updates on that? Did you choose between YouTube, Twitch streaming? Are you going to stream on both? Any premiere date that you have in mind? When should we look forward to North Star Radio's first live stream?
I'm kind of treating this as I don't do much live, so this will be my jumping off point, maybe. I
Well,
was
you're
thinking
great.
like,
You're doing very
yeah,
well. So,
I mean, during the election, I was trying to really tap into that election hype and the breaking news cycle, and I was making like a lot of videos like right after Trump got shot and shit
mhm.
like that. But it doesn't really work for the North Star Radio idea for the brand. I'm not good at quick, like I like to do deeper analysis and
Mhm.
commentary. So I think my streaming will definitely be more um devoted to breaking news and things like that. I'll only stream on YouTube if there's
Okay,
really
sweet.
something big just took place. And I think on Twitch, maybe I'll do, I don't know. This is embarrassing, but I do play a little Fortnite, hop on
Hey,
Twitch.
yo,
It's a
I'm
good
playing,
time.
dude. I started a whole gaming channel, so like I don't play Fortnite, but like as you saw, I'm getting very serious about American Truck Simulator. So maybe maybe we could drive some trucks together in Minnesota or something. Like, is there a
I'm
multiplayer
down.
mode? You know what I mean? Fleet mode where we have a drive a fleet of trucks. You know what I mean? I would be totally down. So
Yeah,
Twitch, that
the
makes sense.
freedom,
Twitch for
whatever.
video games. Twitch is more lenient on a lot of like copyright stuff. Like if you want to watch Jubilee videos, you got to do that on Twitch because YouTube will take
Really?
that shit down right away.
It's good to know.
Unfortunately. But okay, so we're gonna look forward to some North Star Radio streaming on YouTube very soon. That's fucking awesome. You mentioned what upcoming videos can we look forward to on your channel?
Let's see. I'm working on one. Let's see. It's titled Ethan Klein, uh,
Hell yeah.
Ozempic and its ties to Zionist brain rot.
That's gonna be so fucking funny.
Um,
He's gonna call that like so offensive. Like I can't believe they're vilifying Ozempic, and how
it's a
can he
little
do that?
ableist, I'll be honest,
That's
but
gonna
it's
be
for a
funny.
good cause.
Yeah, that's super funny.
I
No,
want to
that's
talk about Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso. He's starting a united. His whole idea is a United States of Africa, which is what got Gaddafi killed by Obama and Hillary Clinton way back in the day. So I want to make a video about that. Also, just want to make another broader Ethan Klein video about why he was never on the left and he just sort of
cosplayed.
thought he was, I guess. Um, I do kind of want to make another Jubilee video.
Oh,
Um,
sweet. I think you should, as long as you're editing, as long as they're edited, yeah, you have no problem.
I
Just live
think,
streaming that is just like they're
yeah,
not cool with that.
I think they have more ties to the quote unquote American deep state than they want to let on. People say, oh, they're doing a lot of bad things, and I've made videos about that in the past, but I feel like it's almost gotten to the point where there's something fishy going on. Like, who's funding Jubilee? They seem to have a lot of money, and I just want to dive into that.
Yo, that's super interesting. Okay, so awesome. And that's good content for us to react to on the channel. So I thank you on that aspect as well.
Amazing.
Let me just take a second to get some questions that some members sent and YouTube members really quickly. Let me just move that over here. Okay, so let me cut back to you. We have a few minutes left. We might need to do one more call. Let's see if we can knock these out. We have 4 minutes.
All right.
Rasva Porky 6294 asks, "What is your favorite hummus?"
My favorite hummus? Oh, I don't know. Homemade hummus.
Homemade there.
Some lemon. There you
Ooh,
go.
lemon and garlic. That's the perfect answer. Artful Decadence asks, "I'm not sure if he's already elaborated on this on his channel, but I'd be interested to know what radicalized him. So what radicalized you, essentially? I think you talked about that
Learning
earlier a little bit.
about North Korea, learning about basically learning all the lies I was taught growing up about the quote unquote global South. Um, it's just all made up. And the more you learn, the more angry you get.
No name, no name. Not a serious question, but also semi-serious. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Well, I used to work at Papa John's Pizza, and let me tell
Oh,
you, sticking your hand in that pineapple bucket, it's really cold. So just for the sake of the employees, I would say no.
oh my God, dude, that's like we just got some Comrade Casey lore. Wait a second, did you just you just stuck your hands in the pineapples, no gloves, no nothing?
They don't use gloves.
Oh my God. I mean, I guess that's fine, right? Pizza, as long as the hands are clean,
It
I think
goes in
that's
the
fine.
oven. I mean, I washed my hands,
Okay,
but I will
okay,
say it's one of the best jobs I've ever had.
okay,
Shout out
sweet.
Papa.
Shout out Papa. Um, uh, so Rasva Porky has multiple questions for you. What's your opinion on the man or bear and Gen Z stare debates?
The man or bear?
I
What
think
is
I'm
that?
too old to even understand this question.
Yeah, I don't know. What was the second thing?
Gen Z stare debates. What's your opinion on Gen Z stare debates?
Stare debates. I'm at a loss for that. I think I'm 24. I'm not in the Gen Z meta really.
Yeah, I have no idea what these questions are. Another question. Say, Razva Porky, did your livelihood get tarnished by Ethan doxing you?
I mean, people found my personal Facebook page, which was unfortunate. You know, my whole family's on there. So
Damn.
I got a little worried. I changed my last name. So if you ever think you know my last name, you don't. It's not my real one. So I mean, no. It's net positive for my career.
Any plans to visit Lebanon or any other Arab country? And do you like falafel?
I love falafel. I I've I've been very interested in coming to Lebanon. I have a buddy of mine out in Beirut, Najib. I don't know if you know the guy, probably not. But
I know a lot of Najibs. I don't know if I know your
okay.
Najib, but maybe. Fuck yeah,
Well,
dude. If you come, goes without saying that you're gonna come here to like on the show. You'll come chill with us on set. We'll hang out. We'll show you around. So if you ever
that'll be
do,
great.
friend of the show, friend of Lebanon, Comrade Casey, you're more than welcome.
Great. Yeah, I would love to go to Lebanon. I'd love to go to Iran is like Tehran's architecture I've always been obsessed with. They have some amazing like contemporary wooden architecture. I've
Mm-hmm.
always loved that. Um yeah, maybe I'll team up with Timothy Chalamet sometime in the future.
Hell
Head on
yeah.
over to Yemen.
We got less than a minute. I'm gonna end this call. Send you one more link just to
All right.
close it out with respect. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Sorry, folks. We got to do this. That's how it goes here. I just want one more minute with him, but I don't want to rush him. I have to start my next meeting in 9 minutes? Okay, let me ask him to send me a link. Okay, what do you guys think about that? Fuck. Now he has to send me a link. That's how it goes here, folks. Let me go back to the live chat real quick as we wait for Comrade Casey to send us the final link. He's gonna do it, folks. He's sending us a link. You want to be a guest on the Do Not Worry podcast? We're gonna have to ask you to send us links. How fucking great is Comrade Casey? This has been such a nice conversation. I was so nervous getting into this. I'll be honest with you guys. I was super nervous. Nour messaged me telling me to let him talk. Did I speak too much over him? Oh, we got a link, folks. We got a link. Open Zoom. Boom. There we go. Absolutely. I feel so unprofessional. Oh, I don't think I can hear you.
Oh, you can't.
There we go. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to close out with the questions. You got one more question. So if you come to Lebanon, we'd love to have you here. Ahla sahla. Please come visit us anytime. It's relatively safe now, but who knows? But I mean, definitely, we'd love to have you. I've invited everyone, all friends of the show. You, Chris Kunzler, come on over. We'll have a good time. We'll get Matt Lieb here as well.
I'd love to.
Razva Porky has one more question for you. You used to watch H3 a lot. Who are you watching now to kind of fill that H3 sized hole? What What content have you been consuming? Any new creators that you want to tell the audience about?
You know, disagreements aside with Hassan, I still watch him here and there. Um, let's see. I don't know. It's sort of it's one of those things where you put it on. H3 was like you put it on. Oh, I'm gonna wait for 3:30, put on the show, and just fuck off and do whatever I want to do. I don't know. It's kind of a niche that I haven't found a place for. I guess, being a Midwest boy up here in Minnesota, shout out the North Star flag right behind me.
Hell yeah.
Um, my favorite podcast that I've been listening to a lot now is the Bellied Up podcast. That's a great one. They just take callers. It's just, just something to put on. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I'm not like I don't have some sort of religious ties to any creators at this point. I think I'm past that personally.
Same. I've kind of learned my lesson, but also I wanted to thank you for like being such a active member of like our community, and we love seeing you in the live chat anytime you pop up. So I really just wanted to say thank you for like everything, for being so supportive, for being, again, the best thing to come out of this whole Ethan Klein thing was getting to meet awesome creators like you, building this community of like alternative people like you, people like Chris Kunzler, uninformed leftist, Sean the Black, the Arabs. I've been so happy to get to meet all you guys. Mike from PA, talk to you guys. So I think that's the like. Also, Ethan has helped both our channels a lot. You just crossed 70,000 subs. That's fucking awesome. I'm so happy for you. He's helped us a lot. I was at 10,000 subs just a few months ago. Now we're at 30K, and I'm doing this full time. So, really, just thank you so much for being part of the channel, for being a member, for always being there in the live chat. Our audience always loves it when you pop up. We got a few VIPs. You, Ethan's Basement, obviously Haley D, some random people that have become VIPs, but like you and Ethan's Basement, anytime you guys would pop up in the live chat, I'm like, these guys are fucking watching. That's crazy. Also, like Mike Figueredo from the Humanist Report has been here and has watched a few times. I'm like, I've been watching these people for so many years. Kyle Kalinsky has reacted to one of our clips. Hassan has watched your videos many a time. But like, just the fact that like we're this random little podcast from Lebanon. So thank you so much for being there for us, for being so generous with your time and your support and everything. We really do appreciate it so much. I would love to have you on. Hopefully the scheduling can work out for the fundraiser, but I would love to have you on for another quick chat for that.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Thank you so much for coming on and spending like over an hour with us. This was a great conversation. I really had a lot of fun. Really excited to see you streaming. You're great. You're a great voice. You're a great sort of ally to have, and we need voices like yours more than ever, Comrade Casey. So thank you so much. We very much look forward to seeing you streaming. I very much look forward to your next videos. The audience loves you, sir. Have a great day. You're gonna have to end this call because you started this call.
Oh yeah, I do. All right, well, I just want to say appreciate you having me on.
It's our pleasure, man.
And Ethan Klein, debate me.
Ethan, don't be a pussy. Fucking do it, Ethan.
All right, man. Well, have a good one.
You too. Such a pleasure. Comrade Casey, folks. Friend of the show. Friend of the show. Whoop. Boom. There we go. You guys saw my WhatsApp. That's okay. You just saw. You didn't see nothing private. Nour says I didn't let him talk enough. Nour, I'm sorry. Did I not let Comrade Casey talk enough, folks? That was so nice. That was so nice. I love Comrade Casey. Okay. Let me make a couple of changes real quick. Let me open this just to have a neutral thing. PC solo react. I just got to bring my camera back. Boom. Here we go. I'm back. We're going to do some reactions, folks. We're going to react to the H3 segment from yesterday. Let us... I'm glad we got to talk about everything that we wanted to talk about. Okay, y'all. Who wants to watch H3 segment yesterday? Talking about Palestine, the Nakba, his beef with Anna Kasparian. This shit was kind of crazy to watch, to be honest with you. I think it's interesting, though.
Actually, I have some...
Boom. You guys miss him? So we're just going to react to this segment, him talking about Anna Kasparian. We're going to watch it a little bit quickly, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Because he said a lot of problematic things, bro, about the Nakba, like, and since we had Comrade Casey on, it makes sense to just, let's keep going with the H3 theme today, folks. So let me know how the volume is. If it's too loud, we're going to be reacting to this and try to contradict as much of this propaganda as we can.
I got into a war with Anna Kasparian.
And when he says I got into a war, by the way, keep in mind, he forced this war into existence. He kept sending post after post, Instagram post after Instagram post to try to get her attention. So, again, Ethan, know what's falling for this. No Name, who's been a member for 5 months now, says, Anthony, all I want to say is thank you for putting Lebanon out there, even though we disagree on many points, but nonetheless, it's healthy to do so. Well, we're going to have a big episode this Thursday, where we're going to talk about whether or not we think Hezbollah should give up their weapons. That's the biggest debate happening right now in Lebanon. It has essentially split the country, and we're going to give you our opinion about this live on Thursday. And I know a lot of my audience is going to disagree with my take on that, but we're going to talk about it because it's important. Anyways, let's watch some H3 today and then call it a night. We have about another hour or something to go. So let's do it. And please don't forget, folks, to subscribe to the channel. If you're currently watching, make sure to subscribe to our gaming channel. Let me actually share the link to the gaming channel real quick. Put it in the live chat before we get into H3. Dreadful Utopia just sent a £1 to be supportive. Thank you so much, Dreadful Utopia. Very sweet of you. Let me just go back to the... Ooh, the gaming channel has gotten 3 extra subbies. Thank you so much, guys. Here's the link for the gaming channel. It is in the live chat. It is pinned on top of the live chat. Bad Younger McJimmy asks, are there cannabis pens in Lebanon? Is cannabis illegality enforced? Cannabis is illegal in Lebanon. Weed is illegal. If you get caught with weed, you can get thrown in jail. A lot of people smoke weed and hash in Lebanon. It's very common, but it has to be kind of on the down low. Vape pens are not available legally. You might find people that are buying them from like abroad, maybe in bulk. They travel with them in Lebanon and they sell them on like the black market under the table. You'll find some and they'll sell them for like a huge markup, like a vape pen in the States. If like a cartridge is $50 in the States, you'll pay $150 to $200 for a cartridge here. So it's kind of crazy. So no, they're not legal and they're not very common, but some people that travel abroad and they'll bring some back with them sometimes. That's how that works. Okay. Choki says, Lebanese hash is very famous. We have the most famous hash in the world. We have a hash called Red Lebanese, which is like very famous. And Hezbollah is responsible for growing like hash in Lebanon, which is kind of funny. Okay.
Who's the co-host of the Young Turks. Cenk, Hassan's great benefactor, uncle, who gave him his career. Actually, it's just kind of boring. I don't feel like reading this. It's on the...
Well, one sec. I have actually a couple of videos that I need to open. Some important videos. Boom.
Do you kind of see yourself?
All right, you're going to hear some stuff. It's just me setting some stuff up. Valuetainment. You guys heard Valuetainment's voice, folks. You guys know what you heard.
Definitely.
Bam, bam, bam. One more thing to open and then we're good to start. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oopsie. Don't need you anymore. Save, sure. One more link I got to open and then we're good. Okay.
Crazy, complete different.
Crazy, complete, you know. Okay, by the way, David Dobrik episode in 2025. Like, who gives a fuck, Ethan? Who gives a fuck? David Dobrik expose.
On the subreddit if you care about it. But I toasted her. She's an obnoxious fucking loser. Freak. She just like went MAGA brand. And now she's doing all kinds of crazy like Zog, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
This is so much projection. Like, she went MAGA brain. Ethan just went Zionist Israel brain. Like, he's losing his mind. And he's out here telling us, you know, that Anna Kasparian went MAGA brain. So I got a WhatsApp from Nour. Okay. Boom. Nour says, I did great. Back to this. Stop sending me WhatsApps, Nour. Please, God bless.
She's really lost her mind, and it's quite pathetic.
I'm kidding. Noor, you can send WhatsApps anytime. W's in the chat for Noor, folks, who is a dedicated crew member who's making sure that all of this runs smoothly.
She said, I'm low IQ, guys.
I'm not too familiar with her. Isn't she a Hassan hater?
She hates Hassan, but who doesn't?
Oh, I thought you guys could have bonded over that.
Well, I thought so until I saw her being like...
Let me, I have some of these tweets open. Let me read them up, because the way Ethan's going to go over this is going to be really horrible. let's see how to start these. So essentially, Ethan got angry at... Let me try to find this one. Ethan got angry at this tweet. Anna Kasparian quote tweeted this. Hummingbirder said, "It's really not our fight, not Israel nor Palestine. Let them fight it out between themselves. It has nothing to do with America." Anna Kasparian quote tweeted that and said, "Our country is occupied and controlled by the Israelis. This is our fight. They're using our money and our bombs to slaughter innocent people and steal land. And then our media tells us the Muslim world hates us for our freedom. And people believe that slop as they lose public services because their resources are being sent abroad. The jig is up. You either love America or the country occupying it." So Ethan found it problematic that she is saying that like America is occupied, etc. So let me try to find. So then he shares this tweet of her. Literally, someone was saying, literally, no one gives a fuck if you criticize Israel. The moral high grounding when you're blatantly hating Jews is what's pathetic, Anna. The Jews did this, the Jews did that, but it's never the Muslims did this, the Muslims did that, even though they're the ones killing people around the globe. Anna says, nah, some of our favorite people are Jewish. They're just able to see what's happening for what it really is. Blah, blah, blah. Ethan says, how can I be racist? I have lots of black friends. Literally doing the racist white bigot trope. So Ethan shares this tweet of Anna saying the arbiter of anti-Semitism is worried about Jewish people marrying non-Jews. You can be one. So yeah, the ADL made the president of the ADL, the CEO, like made a video where it's like Jews shouldn't marry outside their religion. Jews should be married to Jews. So Anna responds to that and says the arbiter of anti-Semitism is worried about Jewish people marrying non-Jews. You can be 1000% in favor of interfaith and interracial marriage, but if you criticize Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people, you deserve to have your life ruined. He, on the other hand, can look down his nose at Jews who marry for love, regardless of religious or racial identity. Ethan then says, what the fuck is with this lady? Do you really want to pretend like Jewish parents are the only ones that care if their children marry within their culture? Jews are no different in this regard than every culture. Why the fuck do you extrapolate that into Jews looking down on non-Jews? It's obsessively racist. The best way to explain the rise in interracial marriage is that Jewish families are increasingly accepting of such relationships. My brother and sister both married non-Jews. It's really no wonder Hassan is the way he is, being surrounded by such bigots as Cenk and Anna. I can't imagine what his parents think. Actually, I can, considering his dad founded the political party in Turkey that negotiated the release of Sinwar. Anna, you sit there every day profiting off the genocide of your Armenian ancestors. You couldn't even muster the courage to ask for a name change. Kiss the ring of your Ottoman oppressors, coward. Oh, you mean just like AB and Lena kissed the ring of their oppressor, essentially? So then Anna responds by saying this. Let me try to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see Anna's response. She says, hey, H3H3 Productions, your low IQ attacks against TYT's name is rich considering Israel doesn't recognize the Armenian genocide and provided the weapons the Azeris used to ethnically cleanse Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh. So how about you shut the fuck up with your fake concern about Armenians, you 2-bit genocide-supporting douchebag. Funny how you had no issues with the name of the show until people began rightly criticizing Israel, which is very fucking true. The TYT name controversy has been around for like years. Ethan just decided to talk about it now in 2025 because he wants to make this about Hassan. He wants to talk about the people linked to Hassan, and he wants to beef with anyone related to Hassan. Anna doesn't even like Hassan, bro. Anna fucking hates Hassan. And you have to be brain dead to think that an American political show that barely ever even discusses Turkey is named after a Turkish political group from a century ago. I'm sure that's what Rod Stewart was also doing when he named one of his most popular songs, Young Turk. Also, please eat a dick. So Anna, not mincing words there. And Ethan replies by saying, look, I don't even want to read his fucking thing, bro. He says, you're right. I've learned a lot about Hassan, Cenk, and their family since our show ended. I've also learned a lot about you from the numerous Armenians that have reached out to me. They despise you for what you represent. A submissive coward. Cenk famously denied the Armenian genocide for a time, yet you smile and kiss his ring. But about me, just like you and Ela sit there and fucking tell us that Israel is the greatest fucking country in the world, you fucking deny the Nakba in the way you're fucking talking about. You're spewing propaganda about the Nakba while your little pet AB sits there and kisses your ring, Ethan Klein. You really shouldn't be one to talk about this. You're the last person who needs to fucking talk about this. One, I don't support Israel, and I don't work at a place called the Young Zionist. I mean, H3H3 might as well stand for Hasbara at this point. Israel has nothing to do with the Armenian genocide. Why do you care if they've acknowledged it? If gestures like this matter to you, then you should be absolutely understand why the grotesque usage of the Young Turks is disrespectful to Armenians, Assyrians, and Greeks. First of all, now, Ethan pretending to care about Assyrians as well. Ethan, you don't give a fuck about Assyrians, my guy. Again, I'm an Assyrian. I'm half Assyrian. My dad is Assyrian. By the way, to our if anyone here in the audience is watching us is Assyrian, Muttuwat ya Jamea, and Armenians. Inch Beses, Lebanon has a massive Armenian community. We have lots of Armenian in Lebanon. Armenians, half of like System of a Down, like the band members, half of them were like born in Lebanon and lived in Bush Hamoud. I love Armenian food. Like, I fucking love Armenians. Okay, it's such a great community. We have a massive Armenian community here in Lebanon. Inch Beses basically means, how's it going, guys? How are you? So, and yeah, I get how the name, the Young Turks, can be offensive. But, I mean, they've talked about it, bro. So many times, Cenk has explained his rationale for it. You're not going to change the branding of a network like 20 years into it, bro. Like, get over it, man. Or, like, it's a legit point to make, but like Ethan doesn't give a fuck. He's mentioning it now just because he wants to shit on Anna and wants like drama for his podcast. He doesn't give a fuck. He could have talked about this if he cared about the Assyrian genocide and the Armenian genocide and the Palestinian genocide. He would have talked about this a long fucking time ago. Rod Stewart is not a political pundit. You are, be honest. Do the Armenians, Assyrians, and Greeks genocided by Cenk's family think the name the Young Turks is harmless? Look, bro, I'm Assyrian. I don't give a fuck at this point. I think what you're doing and your propaganda, because there's currently a genocide happening right now, Ethan. Like the Turks right now, the Young Turks aren't killing Armenians right now, but you know who's killing Palestinians? Israelis. Your people are currently committing a genocide. Stop trying to distract. Oh, don't look at the current genocide that's actually happening. Let's talk about this 100-year-old genocide. Anna, why don't you change the name of your network? It's like, bro, stop trying to fucking distract from the situation right now. Let's talk about the genocide that is actually happening. And then if you want, we can go back and do revisionism and be like, why did TYT call itself the Young Turks, etc. But stop pretending to care. I'm an Assyrian. You think Ethan Klein gives a shit about me right now? You think Ethan Klein gives a shit about the genocide of my people that happened decades ago? Come on. If you do, Ethan, thank you so much. Thank you for standing for the rights of Assyrians and Armenians, Ethan Klein. Seriously. What a hero. I know you fantasize about the Jews of the region returning to dhimmi status, Anna. I'm sorry your progress has been so slow on that, but be for real. You would hate Israel no matter what they did. I'm sorry, Ethan Klein. No one hates countries blindly. We hate Israel because they're genociding a fucking population in front of our very eyes, you dumb fuck. Now, let us get to the insane propaganda that Ethan is going to spew on this episode. It's kind of fucking insane. And it's like 30 minutes of pure uninterrupted propaganda.
Israel occupies the American government, which is like American...
And yes, Ethan Drak Deripa said, guys, this is a distraction from Ethan saying the N-word recently. Yes, Ethan said the N-word recently when he was rapping along with some Kendrick Lamar song, and he said the N-word when the N-word wasn't even part of the lyrics.
Nazi classic talking point that she's adopted. And I've also seen posts, lots of pictures. She's picked up a new audience on Twitter, who you'll notice in her replies. Nazis. They're there.
Hey, kind of funny. You also have a lot of Nazis in your audience now, Ethan, including Sam Hyde fans, who's a literal, actual, self-proclaimed proud neo-Nazi. You know what I mean? That's your audience now, man. Again, Ethan is the last person who should be talking about Anna Kasparian, bro. You are the last person who should be talking about someone else like having a crash out. This is fucking hilarious to me.
And they're supporting
on Twitter?
Yeah.
Nazi, please. Nazi, please.
And also, this needs to be talked about more, but the Young Turks, the name of the news organization.
This needs to be talked about more, folks. In 2025, 20 years after the network started, I, Ethan Klein, have now decided to have empathy for the Armenians and the Assyrians. Something needs to be done about the Young Turks now, 20 years later. Yeah, sure thing, buddy. Sure thing.
That was chosen by Cenk is the name of the imperial, the political party that is directly responsible for the Armenian genocide. The Young Turks is the name of the group of people that had hundreds of thousands of Armenians do death marches into the desert. Mass murdered not just Armenians, but Assyrians and Greek people as well. These guys were fascist mass murderers. And Cenk.
Ooh, almost... Haley D says, Chaya is glowing today. Thank you so much, Haley D. Are you talking about me or are you talking about Comrade Casey? Very kind of you. Thank you so much. Wait, I can't. Oh, it is Haley. All right, let me go back to my message. I got to pin it again. There it is. Haley, thank you so much. Or I think she was talking about Comrade Casey, obviously.
Turkish man who knows the history, right? And his family is involved in all this shit. You know, Hassan's dad created the political party in Turkey that negotiated the release of Sinwar.
Yeah, my mind was blown when I heard
The
that.
weird political ties of his family are deep.
I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about here. I doubt Hassan's dad single-handedly got Sinwar out of prison.
And direct. And people don't talk about it. He named... That would be like if I named my show The Young Nazi. The Young Nazi. Well, actually, so I'm talking specifically...
Nola Magnolia just gifted 5 Do Not Worry memberships. And now we can see... Wait, did we not see the animation? Oh, did we not? Normally, there's supposed to be like a gift thing opening up. Like this really ugly. So, but now it's showing us. So Phoenix Flames has become a member. Thank you so much, Nola Magnolia, for sending the memberships. You're supposed to keep... we're supposed to get like this ugly heart box animation. Did it not happen? CH, are you Armenian? CH says, Ethan, keep Armenian names out your mouth. Wait, no, did we see the animation or did we not see it? If we didn't, I'm sorry, Nola. We're going to fix that. Yesterday it was working. It's an ugly-ass animation, but it's worth it.
Anna, because she's Armenian. And I've gotten lots of emails from Armenian fans. I've seen lots of posts when I first mentioned this. And they're like, thank you so much. People don't talk about it. How much of a pathetic sap she is to sit there next to Cenk, who's like a Turkish supremacist.
Oh, you mean like you and your wife are Jewish supremacists who support Zionism and who support a Jewish ethno-state, and you have 2 Lebanese people sitting on your show? Like, what do you think, bro?
Named his
1 second.
his new news organization after the people that genocided her fucking family. How do you sit there, Anna?
Oh, I love the animation too, folks. It's cheesy as fuck. Sorry, I keep pausing, but I love it.
And smile in the face of your oppressor and kiss the ring of the man, of the people. You don't even have the balls to ask for a name change? You guys couldn't.
AB sitting real quietly right now. You know what I mean? Kiss the ring, sit there quietly. He's literally talking about AB and Lena. And the lack of self-awareness is hilarious.
Think of something else that didn't evoke the memory of the fucking genocide of your family, Anna. Cenk, by the way, famously denied the Armenian Holocaust.
Your country was literally bombing your crew members' country, bro. Like, Cenk and Anna, okay, yeah, the Armenian genocide was horrible. It happened decades ago. It happened ages ago. Doesn't make it right or anything. But Israelis were bombing AB and Lena's country just a few months ago. How much sympathy and empathy did you extend them, bro? You kept justifying their bombing. But Hezbollah did that. Hezbollah hides weapons in there, whatever the fuck. Stop trying to fucking justify a genocide that is currently happening and stop trying to distract people. They need to change the name of the Young Turks. No, you need to fucking call out Zionism. You need to call out your own fucking government. And your wife needs to apologize for her time in the IDF, the raider of fucking Ramallah, bro. She went after innocent people in a raid in the middle of the fucking night and terrified the shit out of them. That is fucking terrorism, my guy. Stop trying to distract from the situation.
For a time. Or the Armenian genocide, what have you, for a time. He denied it. He might still deny it, frankly. He changed his opinion, his public opinion, after people pressed him hard enough. Like, dude, you're a monster. What are you doing? He might still well believe it.
Yeah, just like you believe in what Israel's doing, you fucking liar. Everyone knows what you think. Here's what Cenk had to say about the name of the podcast. This is from 3 years ago in a conversation with Valuetainment PBD. Let's see what Cenk has to say. Again, I'm not justifying the name of the Young Turks. It's a stupid fucking name. Out of all the names he could have chosen, he chose the Young Turks, but he has a rationale for it. And look, 20 years later, it's kind of too late to change it. Like, that's all I'll say. But let's see what Cenk had to say about it.
Crazy, complete different question for you here. Do you think the Washington Redskins being forced to change their names was the right move?
So that one's tricky too. So because now you have that name that's over the top offensive. There is no other meaning for that word other than to be derisive, right? Then you got the Indians and you say, well, their mascot's terrible, but the name itself is not necessarily offensive. Then you got the Chiefs, it's a perfectly acceptable name. There's nothing wrong with it. Seminoles is actually an ode to the particular tribe in the area. That's actually good. It's almost complimentary. So in the case of Washington, it had no other meaning at all. It was obviously derisive. So I would say yes, change it in that case.
So to changing it to Commanders. Whatever it is, Commanders.
Commanders.
I had to ask you guys this. I had no clue. So let me ask you this. So to an Armenian, the Young Turks may be offensive. Would you change your name?
Yeah, so Young Turks means
Nola Magnolia with 50 Egyptian pounds says maybe Israel could have changed the name of the food it stole and then make entire new recipes so that it was not stolen word for word. But hey, exactly. Oh, I think you sent it twice, Nola. Careful, can you take one of these back? Well, W in the chat, folks. Nola Magnolia sent the same thing twice. Thank you for the support, Nola. We love you. Sorry if it like glitched or something.
young rebels. That's the colloquial use in the English language. You could actually look it up in the dictionary.
Sure.
And for us, it was young progressives challenging the established system. I mean, that is a textbook definition of what we are, quite literally. But I get that it is offensive to Armenian people. I get that. And so, and I feel terrible about that, especially because I was wrong about the Armenian genocide. So when
You talked about that.
Yes,
Respect
that's
to the
right.
fact that you did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Anna asked you the question and you addressed it.
Yeah. And so,
am I saying her name right? Anna, right?
Yeah, Anna, yeah. So when I was growing up, I grew up with, honestly, Turkish propaganda, right? And so we all get propaganda. You guys talk about the education.
Credit, honestly, here, credit to Cenk for admitting that, like, yo, I grew up with propaganda. Do Ethan and Ela have the, like, courage or the self-awareness to admit what Cenk just admitted? Again, granted, the Young Turks name is stupid. It's a horrible name, very tasteless. Cenk and Anna have been really fucking up lately and making some terrible points and, like, trying to cozy up to the right. But at least he's honest enough to admit, like, yo, I grew up with some fucking Turkish propaganda. They fed me some bullshit when I was young, and I kind of believed it. But now I've learned the truth. Ethan and Ela would never be caught dead saying that about all the hasbara that they were fed when they were in Israel. They would never be caught dead being like, you know what, we kind of bought into the propaganda. Say what you will about Cenk. It takes a big man and a big person to admit what he just admitted. And props. I give him props for that.
System, you know, what is it telling people?
Yeah.
I remember they taught this absurd thing that I didn't realize it was absurd because I was a kid, right? They said Turks had never lost a war except World War I. Now, World War I was a little hard to deny, right? So, but I believe that. And then I remember as a grown-up, I remember reading about how the Ottomans had lost a battle, and I was like, no, the Turks never... Oh my God, I can't believe I believed that all these years because they implanted it in my head, right? And of course that's not true. The Turks have lost tons of battles and wars, right? And one of the things I was taught was that the genocide didn't happen. Well, of course it happened. Srebrenica
Again, and then Ethan wants to be like, he's probably being disingenuous. He probably doesn't think that the Armenian genocide happened. When I listen to Cenk talking about it here, he seems honest. Again, Cenk and Anna we can make a list of a million things that we can criticize them for. He's being honest here. He's telling you, I bought into the fucking propaganda. I bought into the lies. And I don't even think it's to protect, like, how much of their audience is Armenian, ultimately. You know what I mean? He can probably afford to piss off a bunch of Armenians and it would not affect their viewership that much. But he's being honest. He's like, yo, I fucked up. I was taught this. I believed it. I was dumb enough to believe it. And yo, with time, I learned the truth. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And Ethan and Ela should totally do what Cenk is doing right now.
considered a genocide, and 8,000 people died there, right? In the Armenian genocide, way more than that, a lot more than that died, and they didn't target Norwegians, they targeted Armenians. So was it based on that ethnicity, race? Clearly it was, and they were targeted. So as I've changed a lot of positions based on facts, I changed my position on that based on facts, and I feel terrible that I had that earlier position, and I've been super clear about it.
Yeah, the fact that you change it, that's respect to you for doing that. You know, it was 1.5 million Armenians.
And so Karachi says he would be a bigger man if he changed the damn name instead of making excuses. Look, of course, ultimately it's a bad name. Just like the Redskins had to change their name. You should probably change it. But, I mean, if I were, again, the way he says it is like, look, the Young Turks means young rebels. And look, they've had that brand for 20 years. It's probably very hard to like rebrand something and then like they have all their websites, like everything is TYT. And look, at least they kind of refer to themselves as TYT way more than like the Young Turks. TYT, TYT, TYT. If someone wants them to change, look, again, I'm an Assyrian. I was genocided by the Young Turks. If anyone should be fucking angry and upset, it would be me. At this point, fuck it. Enough time has passed. That's been their branding. In my mind, I call it TYT. I don't even say the Young Turks. I say TYT, TYT, TYT. It's going to be hard for him to change it after like 20, 25 years, man. Like they have recognition in the market. They have an IP. They have a recognizable brand at this point. It's an unfortunate name for sure. And I don't blame anyone who's offended by it to be offended by it.
Give or take 200,000 to 300,000 Assyrians. I want to say 500,000 Greeks. When you read about the genocide, it's a lot of Armenians, but there's also Syrians and Greeks part of that as well. But my respond back to your first question would be, not my first question would be, I don't think Redskins need to change their name, just like you don't need to change your name. Mm-hmm. If your name is Young Turks and you offend a guy like me who's Armenian and Assyrian, and I don't like it.
Now that's crazy. I did not know PBD was Assyrian. He's Armenian and Assyrian. So to PBD, I will say inch besis and mutuet, my man. I'm not Armenian, but I'm half Assyrian. My dad is Assyrian. That's crazy, man. We got that in common. Me and PBD, we come from the same line of people. I'm the descendant of Malik Kambar de Varda, folks. I am the descendant of the last king of Assyria. I am technically like the prince of Assyria. I have a sword that was passed down to me from like my grandfather, and that sword was given as a gift to him by Haile Selassie, bro. Haile Selassie, he gave that, I think he gave that sword to Malik Kambar de Varda, who passed it down. All I know is I'm a prince without a kingdom. I'm the prince of a country that no longer exists, okay? Assyria no longer exists, but I am the king of Assyrians, folks. I am the promised king, okay? I'm your promised leader, folks. Patrick Pet David, you kneel to me, boy. You kneel right now to your one true king, the descendant of Malik Kambar de Varda. My real last name is not Sargon, folks. My real last name is de Varda. My name is Anthony Kambar Sargon de Varda. But the last name de Varda got lost when my grandparents came to Lebanon from when they left, when they escaped like Iraq decades ago, etc. Y'all better get on your fucking knees and beg for forgiveness, okay? Because the king ain't happy.
I don't have to like it, but I don't have to say, let's make sure he changes his name. It's your name. And by the way, there is an Armenian community that's, you know, you look at the American Indian community, what is the size of that? What is the Armenian size community? What is the Assyrian community? What is the Greek community? Some people may say, dude, that's offensive. I get what you're saying. It's a young progressive, but it's the young Turks. So I think the part where sometimes, you know, we play this, change your name, I'm offended,
You guys want to see the sword? 1 second. It's a little bit rusted, but this sword was literally, like the cover is rusted, but this was a sword from Haile Selassie, bro, who was the emperor of Ethiopia, for those of you who don't know. And Haile Selassie, when he visited Jamaica, like decades ago, Jamaica was going through like a historic drought. It started raining when Haile Selassie arrived. So they called him the bringer of rain. And he's essentially like the reason that the Rastafari movement exists. That man handed a sword to my great-grandfather. And this is the sword, folks. It's got some like engravings. I don't know if you guys are going to see this. It's got like a lion on the hilt. So this is like a lion at the bottom. We've got some like engravings on the blade itself. Look at that. Haile fucking Selassie, folks. This is like priceless, man. The bringer of rain, baby. So if you guys are experiencing any droughts, call me. I'll show up with the sword and get some rainwater down on your crops. Like Bob Marley has a whole song about Haile Selassie, like, by the way, just so you guys know. Anyways. That's enough of that. Back to Ethan Klein.
And you have the, you know, and she's up there talking about Zog, Zionist occupied government. It's like you sit next to your oppressor and you kiss the ring.
Shut the fuck up, bro. AB and Lena are like sucking your ring. If Anna's kissing the ring, AB and Lena have sucked the ring and swallowed it, shat it back out, put it back on your finger, and are sucking on it again right now, bro.
What a disgrace. So yeah, I mean, I've got lots of emails from Armenian fans out there who are like, please talk about the Young Turks. The name?
Ooh, Adiel and Gabo Rutabana with some Haile Selassie lore, saying Haile Selassie also defending Ethiopia against Italian colonialism. Fuck yeah, let's fucking go. It's an anti-colonial sword too, folks. That sword gives me power, folks.
The fact that Anna is there as a useful tool for them to dispel criticism, to be like, oh, my best friend, look at my co-host is Armenian. That's what you are.
What?
The name, the fact that Anna is there as a useful tool for them to dispel criticism, to be like, oh.
You mean AB and Lena are there as a useful tool to also dispel whatever propaganda you want to talk about? You want to have AB and Lena are there just to make you and Ela look good. Like, no, we don't hate Arabs. Look, we've hired 2 Lebanese people. We recognize what Israel is doing. Look, we've hired 2 Lebanese people. Yeah, sure thing, Ethan. Fucking projection.
Oh, my best friend, look at my co-host is Armenian. That's what you are, Anna. You are a pin in his hat, a feather in his cap, Anna. You are a pin.
People mentioning a bald spot. People are talking about this. Look, guys, I don't think it's a bald spot. I think he's just gelling his hair. And when you gel your hair, some hairs will like stick together and like will join forces essentially. And this is like the partition. Like this is where like his hair parts. I don't think he's balding. Like just to be fair, I think it's just the gel giving that effect. I mean, to give him some credit, you know, maybe he is balding. Shit.
In his hat.
But I think it's just the hair gel.
A feather in his cap to say, hey, look, I've got my own Armenian pet. And that's what she is, you know. And the Young Turks has just turned into just like a... I mean, let me show you some of the highlights without reading all of it. Let's see here. She says... This one really rubbed me wrong.
Also, his coughing is getting like worse. And again, we know that his coughs and his tics get worse when he's kind of stressed or talking about something that he doesn't feel comfortable talking about.
She says she's talking about the CEO of ADL. The arbiter of anti-Semitism is worried about Jewish people marrying non-Jews. You can be 1,000% in favor of interfaith and interracial marriage, but if you criticize Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people, you deserve to have your life ruined. He, on the other hand, can look down his nose at Jews who marry for love, regardless of religious or racial identity. Why do you make it seem like Jews are the only people that care if they marry in their religion or culture? That's literally everybody. Asian.
Okay, so wait, this is kind of crazy. He's basically saying like, why are you pretending that only Jews want people? Racists want their race to marry within their race, bro. It's 2025. Who wants their kids to remember, white son, you can only marry a white woman. Hey there, Muslim son, you can only marry a Muslim. Like my parents have never told me, hey, you better marry a white Lebanese woman or like like a light-skinned Lebanese woman. No Muslims, no Americans, no. It's 2025, bro. It's kind of fucking weird if like families are being like, hey, better marry within your race and religion, son.
Parents, Arab parents, Muslim parents, everybody wants their kids to marry inside of their religion or culture. And it's not even...
What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Don't be projecting that shit on me right now, man. If that's the thing in your family, if your family has a thing like, yo, you better marry a Jew, don't throw that on every other fucking race, bro. Are there families that want their kids to marry, if they're Muslim, marry Muslims? Sure. Are there families, if they're Christian, they want their kids to marry Christians? Sure. At this point, 2025, most people don't care. And it's kind of weird to even be defending that argument. Like, why?
A racial thing. It's more like it's a shared identity. It makes having a relationship easier. But if you're seeing an increase in Jewish people marrying outside of their culture, it's because there is an increasing tolerance amongst Jewish secular families to accept anyone. Both of my siblings married non-Jews. The fact that I married a Jew is completely random, frankly. It was never...
Well, why is he even arguing this? Anna was simply calling out the CEO of the ADL for being like, Jews should marry Jews. She should like stick to Jews. What he said is kind of racist. No, why should Jewish people only marry Jewish people? That's what Anna was calling out. He's making like all cultures want their people to marry one another. It's like, no, bro.
A thing that my family never cared about. There was never a thing like, oh, you need to marry a Jewish person or don't bring them home. So if anything, it proves the opposite. But somehow she turns this into some narrative about Jewish supremacy because I haven't seen the clip, but he's just acknowledging that there's an increase in inner...
You haven't seen the clip?
Well, I'm just reading the quote, and I'm reading her quote. The quote is, he laments a rise in interracial marriages. Then she says...
Why is she even talking about it?
Look down his nose at Jews who marry for love, regardless of...
Why is she even talking about it? She's not Jewish. She's not allowed to comment on the head of the... Because the CEO of the ADL, I'm sorry, they donate a lot of money to politicians. They're one of the most powerful lobbies in America. They control so many politicians. They control so much of the fucking legislation that gets signed and approved for Israel. They're the reason, because they buy so many politicians. All these politicians keep voting to send money and unlimited funding to Israel. That's why she's talking about it. She's talking about that this fucking dude who's the head of the ADL is a Jewish supremacist out there talking that he's uncomfortable when Jews marry outside of their religion. Anna is a political commentator, so she has every right to fucking talk about this. Why is she talking about this? It's so weird. It's so strange. Shut up, Ela.
Religious identity. Everybody does that.
No, not everybody does that. Sorry to have to correct you, Ethan. Not everyone wants their families to marry within the same race or religion. Some people don't give a fuck.
And then she says, let's see here. She goes, how can I be? She literally pulls this. Look. Nah, some of my favorite people.
Dizzle McFizzle, member for 5 months, says, yo, I'm moving back to Puerto Rico soon. Hell yeah, bro. We support you, man.
Are Jewish. Someone said, literally, no one gives a fuck if you criticize Israel. The moral high grounding when you're blatantly hating Jews is what's pathetic, Anna. The Jews did this, the Jews did that, but it's never the Muslims did this, the Muslims did that. That's even though they're the ones killing people around the globe. Okay, I don't agree with that sentiment at the end. But her response is interesting to me. Nah, some of my favorite people are Jewish. Like, she knows what she's doing. Look at her. Here's a clip.
Oh yeah, Redskin Nation says, oh yeah, Redskin. I'm surprised they didn't go out there and do like some offensive like rain dance or something like that.
It's like saying I'm not racist. Some of my best friends are black, or my best friend is
You
black.
just did that. Nah, some of my favorite people are.
This is going to be a hot take. I don't think there's anything wrong with that line of defense. If someone accuses you of being a racist, and if you say, how am I a racist? I have black friends, or like my wife is black, or my best friend is black. How is that racist? I've been accused of being an anti-Semite by the H3 podcast and by all of their fans on the H3 subreddit numerous times, okay? But like, how can I be anti-Semitic when I have Jewish friends? How can I be anti-Semitic when I loved and supported the H3 podcast and supported it financially? How can I be an anti-Semite when a lot of the artists I look up to, some of my favorite media was created by Jewish artists and creators? I think at this point, when you're being accused of being an anti-Semite left and right, like, well, hey, you're a fucking anti-Semite. No, I think it's okay to be like, you know what? No, I'm not a fucking anti-Semite because I have this relationship with this Jewish person. I love these Jews. Like, what else do you want to say? I mean, obviously, the best thing to do is to fucking ignore these stupid, baseless accusations. But at the end of the day, bro, no. A racist is not someone who hates black people is not going to have black friends. Someone who hates Jewish people is not going to consume Jewish media, support Jewish creators, buy their clothing, have a Jewish best friend. That's not going to fucking happen, bro. So it is a fair response to make, actually, bro. And fuck you.
Jewish. You don't have to fuck. You don't have to use that to prove how racist you are.
This is when my depression got so much worse, is because it's like, you know, people on the left understand
you mentioned
all the nuances. You know, they're able of understanding nuances when it comes to racial conversations, but somehow when it comes to Jewish people, everything gets...
Starboy Wakalak says it's a weak defense because it doesn't necessarily mean you aren't racist to said friend. I mean, look, I'm not gonna have... I mean, look, to some people, sure, but if I'm gonna have a black friend, I'm not gonna have a black friend just so I can be racist to my black friend. I think that's also kind of weird. Like, no one should have to make that argument, but when you're getting accused left and right, you're an anti-Semite, like, shit, man. I'm gonna be like, yo, dude, I fucking love I fucking love Stan Lee. I fucking love Jack Kirby. You know what I mean? They're Jewish. They created some of the media that I love the most. I supported the H3 podcast, knowing full well not only they were Jewish, they were Israeli folks. So how can I be an anti-Semite? Like, you know what I mean? Again,
it's thrown out the door.
They understand what their words mean. She understands who the Young Turks are. She goes, oh, an American political group? Why would we care about what the Young Turks means? Because Cenk is fucking an Armenian genocide-denying Turkish supremacist?
What? Not anymore, bro. I'm sorry. You can't say that he's an Armenian genocide. He's literally on camera saying that, like, I admit I was wrong. I bought into the propaganda. Ethan, on the other hand, will call what's happening in Gaza a genocide occasionally, but he will do everything he can in his power to justify it. Well, I mean, it is a genocide, but they are hiding bases under hospitals. It is a genocide, but Hamas did attack us on October 7th. They did rape our women brutally. So it's like, fuck you, bro.
Ties to political parties in Turkey. You didn't include the first tweet that actually started this whole conversation, which was the one that really got me going at her.
Let me look for it.
Against our name is rich, considering Israel doesn't recognize the Armenian genocide. Why the fuck do you care if Israel how?
Because you're sitting here pretending to care about the Armenian genocide, and your country, which you keep fucking defending every day, your fucking genocidal piece of shit country, doesn't even acknowledge the existence of the Armenian genocide. So if you're pretending that, oh, look, this Israeli, care about Armenians, well, maybe you're one in a minority because Israelis don't give a fuck about that genocide.
Are you going to what about it to Israel immediately? Why do you care if Israel recognized the Armenian genocide? They had nothing to do with it.
You, Ethan, as the Prime Minister of Israel, should know.
I don't support Israel, by the way. But even if I did, who cares?
He just said I don't support Israel, by the way. The same man who said he wanted to take a trip with his family and vlog his experience in Israel to show us how great and multicultural it is. He doesn't like Israel. No, he sits there and justifies their genocide day in and day out, but he doesn't care about Israel. No. Yeah. We believe you, Ethan.
If Israel recognized the Armenian genocide. I would care a lot more if my co-host recognized the Armenian genocide, the guy that you sit next to every day, whose family probably participated in it.
Oh, you mean like your wife participated in the war against Palestinians, the way you probably have friends and relatives right now that are in the IDF actively participating in the genocide? What, Hila doesn't have any fucking cousins or nephews or shit like that that are currently in in Israel right now, in Gaza, ethnically cleansing the place, bro. Stop projecting, bro.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dope? So how about you shut the fuck up with your fake concern about Armenians, you 2-bit genocide-supporting douchebag? Funny how you had no issue with the name of the show until people began rightfully criticizing Israel. Now, I learned a lot about you.
And again, that's so fucking true. He never fucking mentioned this once before. Now, all of a sudden, that he needs content, he needs to make an enemy out of Anna, and he wants to shit on anyone Hassan has ever been associated with. Now, he wants to talk about the Young Turks and the genocide.
About Hassan and their family. So, and I learned a lot about who the Young Turks are from the many Armenians that have written to me and posted in our community and left comments about it. So yes, it's true that I didn't have an issue with it before I knew what it meant. You have to be brand.
And look, I'm going to give him credit here. There is an Armenian community that doesn't like Anna because she works for a company called the Young Turks, etc. And I have some videos. Like, for example, here was Anna. But we're not going to watch this whole thing. But this is a video from 8 years ago from a creator called Glink. I think he's Armenian. He made a 20-minute video of like how he called it Anna Kasparian is not a true Armenian, TYT's genocide denial. So there is a contingent of Armenians that do not fuck with Anna. I completely get that and I understand that. Here is Anna doing like a university speech, and like a young Armenian person like interrupted their talk to kind of call her out. Let's watch this clip because it's much shorter. The other video is 20 minutes.
He's like, we got to bind the wounds of his feelings on the election.
So this guy is going to ask Anna a question, and it's kind of going to set her off a little bit. Check this out.
What's your name?
Wait, before Rami Winter says, is he going to debate her now? Here's what I think is happening with Ethan and Anna. Ethan shared this text maybe like a few weeks ago that someone from the Piers Morgan show reached out to Ethan Klein asking him, hey, is there anyone you want to debate on our show? We'd like to have you on Piers Morgan. And he put out like a challenge to the guy with the beard. What's his name? The anti-Semitic guy who used to like sleep with all these women and stuff. He's super anti-Semitic. I forgot his name. Really dumb guy. He put out a challenge for that guy. But what I think he's trying to do now is Anna Kasparian is also a very, shows up on Piers Morgan a lot. She is a guest there now they invite her on quite a lot. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to set up a Ethan Klein versus Anna Kasparian showdown on Piers Morgan. I think that's what he might be trying to do. I think that's what he's trying to do. Dan Bilzerian, yes, he tried to get Dan Bilzerian to debate him on Piers Morgan. I don't think Dan Bilzerian took the bait. What I think he's trying to do now is he's trying to get Anna to take the bait, and he wants to argue with Anna on Piers Morgan. I don't know that's what he's doing, but that's what I think he's doing.
Where are you from?
Vaughn, Los Angeles.
Yeah, let's hear it for Vaughn from Los Angeles. You go to CISA?
Yeah.
We all.
He's texting in the middle of the interview.
All right. My question for you is more, how do you feel about all the stuff that Trump said during the election, during the running for the election? And
he wants the floor. I actually want to touch upon like the kind of immigration and that kind of sentiment on it. So the rise in anti-immigrant sentiment, that's pretty much, it's raised fear amongst our communities and things like that. It brings back memories and history. So of other leaders, of other groups, people that have rose to power and have done much worse, such as the Young Turks. So
he's calling out like such of the Young Turks groups that have done worse, and now they can tell that like this guy doesn't really want to ask a question, so they're going to like stop.
Very interesting. I'm sure it would be
interesting.
Very entertaining, but
So
we
let's
focus on the election.
I actually do want to quickly respond to that because I think it's an interesting concern.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
No,
So
it's
he
okay.
brought up.
So Anna wants to talk about it, but they're trying to like change the subject. Anna's like, no, I want to address this. I want to address what this guy is saying, because he's saying like, yo, basically he's accusing her. Why are you working for a corporation called the Young Turks?
So we worked really hard on this episode, and
Ethan's basement is in the chat. Yes, Ethan's basement. We talked to Comrade Casey at the beginning of the episode. We talked for like an hour and 15 minutes. Go over there. W's in the chat for Ethan's basement, folks. We love him.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more questions from the audience, from actual students, after we come back from this.
So they're taking a break now. What you're going to see is like cell phone footage of their interaction when that happened.
Being filtered or censored, and I just hope that we continue this dialogue and understand each other's positions. That's it.
And another thing,
Mom,
stop it on live. Please get the hell out of here.
Mom.
Okay,
What happened?
Wait, let me slow this down a bit. So they're basically accusing her, like, why are you working with TYT, stuff like that.
You consider that genocide, yes or no? Yes or no?
Of course.
She worked for the Young Turks. For the Young Turks. Okay, so 1.5 million people died.
If you're not going to listen to anything that you said and just keep repeating the same thing, she called it a genocide. She said she believes it and said that the show has nothing to do with it.
Genocide?
You just didn't listen at all.
So they're accusing her of denying the Armenian genocide, and she's getting pretty angry and offended. Like, do you think I actually am denying the genocide? So this is all. I'm only showing you this to show you that yes, she has gotten grief from Armenians in the past, and there is a contingent of Armenians that does not like Anna because they think that she's like a traitor for working for a company called the Young Turks.
I don't deny the genocide. I don't deny it. I don't deny it.
And then they come back.
Welcome back to the Young Turks on Fusion. I'm Anna Kasparian, a proud Armenian, about to talk about the future of the Democratic Party.
So this was a direct. So she's saying, "Hi, I'm Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks." She's naming it, and I'm a proud Armenian. So she's basically just trying to shut the guy up. So, anyways, so that's something that has happened to her in the past. And here's a quick look at the guy's video.
The Young Turks, Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur. If ever it was appropriate to label people as the regressive left, these people would be the perfect candidates for it. In this video, I'm going to be responding to a few events involving TYT and a topic they try to avoid like the plague, the Armenian genocide. Most of you have probably heard of the Young Turks, the left.
So if you guys are interested in this video, again, he's called Glink. Anna Kasparian is not a true Armenian, if you guys want to watch that. Anyways, let's get back to this.
Ended to think that an American political show that barely even discusses Turkey is named after a Turkish political group. Are you fucking crazy? You have to be
How
crazy.
Are you really going to say that?
Meanwhile, you have to be crazy to think that the Young Turks, the name of the political party that did the genocide on your people, you have to be crazy to think that it's a reference to that. Meanwhile, I cannot believe Israel, who had nothing to do with the Armenian genocide, refused to acknowledge it. Like, why? Who else didn't acknowledge the Armenian genocide that had nothing to do with it? Did Japan? Did China? Did India? Did Russia? Did fucking Brazil? Who cares? Israel didn't even exist.
Again, I mean, I've showed you footage of Cenk being like, yes, I was wrong about the Armenian genocide. The name is what it is at this point. I meant it as something else. I'm sorry that I denied the genocide. I bought into the propaganda. I was an idiot. So, in my opinion, case closed.
When that shit happened. Didn't even exist.
Ethan needs drama, and Ethan needs the views.
You care? This is insane deflection. Is this the one? Let me see. Yes, this is it. This is the one that got me going. This is straight out of the American neo-Nazi anti-Semitic playbook. Our country is occupied and controlled by Israelis. This is very specific language. Refers to this reference popularized by David Duke and other American neo-Nazis, Zog, which is a slur, or Zios, against Jewish people, that says it's the Jews that control our government, not actually Americans. We are all, everything we do is just at the behest of the Jews.
Well, okay, no, people that say, that's not what Anna said. Anna did not say Jews control our government, but the Israeli lobby and Israel as a government holds an insane amount of power over the United States government. And it is fucking insane for Ethan to fucking even try to deny that, okay? There's literally an active genocide currently happening, and the US is still supporting them overwhelmingly by sending money, by sending weapons, okay? Why is the US fucking aiding and abetting a current fucking genocide? Because the Israeli government holds so much fucking power, lobbying power, over American politicians, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot if you try to deny that, okay? You have, look, when Iran retaliated against Israel, every single American politician put out the same tweet at the same time. We support Israel's the ability to the right to defend itself against this terrorist attack. Like, bro, they're in the ADL's pocket. And when that affects literally American lives, bro, okay? Like, the US is spending American tax dollars on fucking Israel instead of providing you with fucking healthcare, man, okay? So stop it with the stupid arguments.
The Jewish puppeteers that control everything. Our country is occupied. Occupied? That's such a fucking...
Essentially, bro, your politicians are occupied by Israel. They're occupied by Israeli money, by Israeli lobbies, my guy. Okay? Yes, they're like infected with it.
Fantastically insane.
Yeah.
How else do you justify America's policies for Israel and in the Middle East? Unless that was the case.
Image. Because occupation is like a military... Yeah, I'm going to hit my inhaler, but at a certain point, there's... It's hard to know where the Tourette's...
That's what I think. I don't think right now. I think right now that's a tick.
I hate when ticks interfere with my ability to talk. It's the worst, but I'm going to hit this anyway. This one's for you, Anna. Look at this dork with an inhaler. Yeah, I'm gonna hit this inhaler in between.
Okay, hit the inhaler, bro. You're not gonna get any sympathy from me, bro.
Doing huge bong rips. Hit me with that fucking percolator. This image of occupied. That's a military occupation. That's a forced occupation. This is our fight. They're using our money, our bombs to slaughter innocent people and steal lands. And then our media tells us it's the Muslim world hates us for our freedom.
Yep, she's right, bro.
People believe that slop as they lose public services because the resources are being sent abroad. Israel gets military assistance. Okay, criticize that. But don't say that people are losing their fucking public services because Israel's getting old military equipment from the fucking United States.
Old military equipment? Are bunker busters old military? They're getting experimental. They're like experimenting with new technology in Gaza, bro. They're trying out new fucking types of bombs. Those fucking rockets where like razor blades come out and they start slashing people. We get old military equipment. The Lebanese army, bro. We don't even have fucking jets. We get old fucking Apache helicopters and we get old military jeeps. Are you telling me Israel gets the same old military equipment that fucking little old Lebanon gets? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Look at the level of fucking propaganda. All Israel gets is some old military equipment. So how the fuck did a fucking genocide happen? How did they wipe out an entire fucking city, bro, and hundreds of thousands of people with old military? What did you send them, fucking muskets? Are they filling out their fucking muskets? Should I bust out my sword? My Haile Selassie sword? Is that what they're doing?
Right? That's, again, part of this Zog anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. It's misinformed, it's wrong, and it's racist. The jig is up. You either love America or the country occupying it. Dude, if you have a problem with AIPAC, talk about lobbying. Qatar spends a lot more money lobbying in America than AIPAC does, which, by the way...
Does that lobbying... Okay, Qatar lobbies a lot and spends a lot of money. Does that money lead directly to a genocide? Are people that are getting money from Qatar, are they voting... Are they getting that money to vote to exterminate a whole other fucking population?
AIPAC is an American lobbying group of Jewish Americans. It's not an Israeli group. It doesn't have Israeli money. It's not even affiliated with Israel directly. It's Americans who support Israel. Now, Qatar spends significant...
It's just Americans that support Israel. It's just some innocent Americans that like Israel. That the ADL isn't a threat. The ADL isn't a problem. What a fucking clown.
Significantly more money lobbying in America and in universities. But like somehow it's only the Jews. It's only AIPAC that gets called out for being a problem.
Bro, Israel is doing the genocide right now. What are you talking about? Who is Qatar genociding right now? Who is Qatar genociding right now? Stop changing the subject.
It's AIPAC that's occupying. It's not just it's not no longer money in politics is influencing or politicians are being bought, this and that. It's now you're being occupied by the Zionists. Despite other countries spending more money lobbying. Anna, you are a fucking racist, bigoted pig who sits there and kisses the ring of your oppressor. How does that feel to be?
Oh my God, bro. Racist. You see, you're just a racist, bigoted pig. Look, intel racist. Your fucking country is genociding whole population right now, yeah? And the whole world can see what the fuck they're doing with their own very eyes. No one fucking likes Israel. No one fucking likes you. No one likes the IDF. No one likes your wife, bro. Disgusting Zionist fucks.
He's so worthless. Hated by your own people. I'm telling you, the Armenians fucking despise her that have wrote me. They think the worst of her. And she is. She's a terrible person. She really is. She's also MAGA-brained. She's kind of like embodied the worst of all possible political takes.
Oh, she's MAGA-brained, coming from Steiny's best friend. Coming from the man who loves to invite Steiny on his show. And the guy who's aligned himself with The Quartering, Keemstar, Nick Eat the Oreo, Sam Hyde, Willie Mack.
Become like an anti-Semitic, racist MAGA person. It's wild, man. And all I see is Cenk just losing his mind. He's always participating in these debates, like Piers Morgan.
Cenk losing his mind. Bro, you're losing, Ethan. You're the one having the legendary once-in-a-lifetime internet crash out.
Or he did one on the Jubilee, and he is so unstable.
I love this. I love how unaware Ethan is. He's just talking about someone else being unstable and losing his mind online. Who does that remind me of? Who's been going through something similar? Can't put my finger on it.
It's entertaining as hell. I'll tell you that. I love to see that guy squirm. He's just so unstable.
Ethan, same goes right back at you, man. Watching your crash out has been entertaining as hell, man. It's been super fun. Seriously. I'm glad we have that in common, enjoying other people's crash outs on the internet.
But yeah, what a bunch of terrible people they are. And this is Hassan's family. These are the people that gave him basically his first and only job, right? His parents, his mom is a prolific.
Ethan like talks about Hassan streaming as if it's not a job. What the fuck is your podcast, bro? Like, we're all lucky to be doing this right now as work. Okay, but if you're going to criticize Hassan and say that what he's doing is not a job for streaming every day, what do? You fucking live stream for a living. So you do the exact same thing as Hassan, except Hassan teaches people about politics, history, stuff like that. Okay, that's the difference.
Property manager. The ultimate irony. His mom property manages commercial real estate. His dad founded a fucking reactionary, well, actually, I don't know if they're reactionary, but a political party in Turkey that negotiated with Hamas. Who's also a...
They negotiated with Hamas? You mean the resistance group? What's wrong with Hamas? Again, bro, I'm sorry. Like, any criticism you have towards Hamas, the IDF is 100 times worse. How many people has Hamas killed? How many people have the IDF murdered? Just think that, okay? So anyone who even talks to... You're married to a terrorist. You're like, okay, Hassan's dad worked with Hamas, or like they did some stuff with Hamas on the side. You married a terrorist. You are in bed with a terrorist. How about that? How about that? An actual terrorist who actually kills people. Hamas is a resistance force that was born out of occupation, that was born out of oppression, my guy. Just like Hezbollah.
I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he is extraordinarily wealthy. I mean, I have a lot of questions about Hassan's family and how they all interlink, and I don't think people have thoroughly or adequately explored that connection, you know. But anyway, yes, we are occupied by Zionists, a country of 10 million people in the Middle East.
N. Emlot says Ethan is full of it. He uses the N-word, then tries to scapegoat it with other drama that is stupid. As a black American, I'm not falling for it, Ethan. You are just jealous of Hassan.
East,
and
far
Emlot,
away,
for the message.
Is occupying the third largest, most powerful and rich nation in the world. It's incredible. The Jews, this small group of people, what they can accomplish. Really? Really? You would think Ghislaine Maxwell was Jewish.
No one is saying, oh, look what this small group of people can accomplish. They are committing a genocide and getting away with it, despite it being fucking televised live, bro. How do you get away with a fucking live stream genocide? Money and connections, bro, and power. That's how you get away with it. And influence.
Get it? Because she's a great executive. She's not, though. She is? Ghislaine's Jewish? I don't think so. I know he is. Well, maybe that would explain then. Maybe that you know, confirms everything. Ghislaine? Her dad was? Okay, so we get...
We're still not done. He's going to get into Nakba history revisionism soon, folks.
So we get a technicality pass on that.
Nola Magnolia says Sinwar was released alongside over 1,000 Palestinians for one Israeli soldier. Okay, Ethan. And thank you for that note, Nola.
You know, I'd love to just let that settle. A country of 6 million people across the globe is occupying America. Occupying, not just influencing.
Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was Jewish, if I'm not mistaken.
Occupying. They're the true controllers of America. Third most populous, richest country that ever existed. It's all being run by the Zionists over in Israel. Give me a break, you racist fuck. Disgusting. Anyway, I'm not going to read the whole... Oh, this is one of my other favorite things. You have to be brain dead to think that American political show that barely even discusses Turkey is named after a Turkish political group from a century ago. I'm sure that's what Rod Stewart also was doing when he named one of his most popular songs Young Turks. Rod Stewart...
Nogzolato sends $2 and says Ethan's grand uncle cut corners in Hollywood, by the way. Oh, really?
It's not... means. Yeah, you know what? The industrial innovativeness. The young did the Holocaust and the World War II and all that. But like, just because my show is called The Young Nazis, why do you think it's more about their industrial innovativeness, their go-getting attitude? Do you want me to read the lyrics to the whole song? Billy left.
I'm not a Rod Stewart fan, so I wasn't familiar with that song, and I was reading the lyrics. We might be able to glean some insight here. What do you think?
First, I fucking love this song.
Oh, you love this song?
I did read a bit about Young Hearts.
I'm not seeing any connection to Turkish politics, I guess is my point.
It's not.
Yeah.
The Turkish aristocrat. So nobody wants to help me. I'm out here drowning. Fighting for. Thank you, Dan. So nobody wants to help me. I'm out here drowning. Fighting for my life.
I know.
But I was gonna say, Cenk.
Let's watch Ethan try to say aristocracy real quick.
Relatives are Turkish bourgeoisie, aristocrats. Thank you, Dan. So nobody wants to help me. I'm out here drowning, fighting for my life.
I know.
But I was gonna say, Cenk actively talks today about genocide and about all this stuff
while sitting next to an Armenian.
So...
He's not allowed. Oh, you see, Cenk is not allowed to talk about the genocide because the Turks committed a genocide 100 years ago against the Armenians, and he denied it for a time. But now he doesn't deny it, and he's admitted his mistakes. But because his people were involved in the genocide decades ago, he's not allowed to talk about they don't want anyone to talk about what's happening in Israel, basically. They don't want anyone to talk about the genocide. Don't talk about Gaza. You're not qualified because you're an anti-Semite. You're not qualified because you're Turkish. You're not qualified because of this. You're not qualified because of that. Only we are qualified to defend Israel. Sure.
But
how are they going to say that it has nothing? They have no responsibility to change the name?
Here's my question for you, Anna. Do you think that an Armenian, an Assyrian, or a Greek person who is affected by the genocide perpetrated by the Young Turks thinks that it's as innocent, as harmless as you claim it to be?
I'm an Assyrian. Again, I am an Assyrian. I think the name is in poor taste. At this point, I don't give a fuck, Ethan. Let me speak for Assyrians. You don't speak for Armenians. Don't speak for Assyrians. Let me speak for myself. I'm an Assyrian. Again, descendant of Malik Kambar Duvarda, the last king of Assyria. I don't give a fuck. It's a shitty name. It's in poor taste. They've had it for 20 years. In my mind, it's TYT. Let him keep it. I don't even watch TYT anymore. You know what? No one watches TYT anymore. So they shouldn't even waste their time to rebrand unless they want to start a whole new company. Okay, but don't speak for me, Ethan. Please don't speak for me, and don't speak for Armenians the way he says it.
Do you think so? Well, I don't, and I've heard from them. So give me a fucking break. Why don't you deal with the problems in your own studio? Why don't you be dare to... You want, like, the entire Middle East to overnight change? You can't even change the name of your fucking show to prove how against genocide you are. Let's start with the name of your show. If you're so anti-genocide. Mm-hmm. Let's start there, lady.
Oh my God, bro. What an obnoxious fucker. Let's watch that again in slow motion or in regular speed.
Genocide you are. Let's start with the name of your show. If you're so anti-genocide.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally stable man, folks. We're watching a mentally stable man right now.
If you're so anti-genocide.
Mm-hmm.
This is the face of Zionism, folks. This is what Zionism does to you. This is what supporting Israel for a year and a half, trying to defend their actions. This is what it does to a motherfucker. Right there. You guys see it? I see it. Yep. Scary shit, folks.
Let's start there, lady. Okay, and then let's talk about Israel. Dope. Fuck you. Anyway, that's my beef with... Somehow I'm now beefing with Hassan's entire extended family.
Somehow. Oh, I love this. I love this. Listen to this.
Beef with... Somehow I'm now beefing with Hassan's entire extended family.
Somehow. Oh, it must have happened organically. No, you fucking begged for this drama. You've been going after Anna on your Instagram stories day after day, week after week, until she finally gave you what you wanted, which was a response. He's trying to pretend like everyone's coming after me. You fucking have begged for this fucking drama week after week on your Instagram story. Now, look, can you believe this? I'm beefing with everyone. You're forcing these fucking beefs, bro. You're fucking desperate for views, and you are fucking forcing... Anna Kasparian didn't know who the fuck you were, bro. She doesn't know or care who the fuck you are. Now, all of a sudden, you got on her radar because you're such a fucking annoying little prick, bro. Somehow, I've started drama. That's what you've wanted, motherfucker.
Somehow I'm now beefing with Hassan's entire extended family.
Somehow. How did it happen? They're all coming after me. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, okay.
Somehow. Have some conviction.
I just think change the name, guys. right? Call it the Turks.
And yes, Starboy, there is still the Nakba revisionism coming up right now.
Call it our longing for the return of the Ottoman Empire and the return of Jews to dhimmi status. I know that's what she wants ultimately. She wants Jews to return to dhimmis, which is a lower classman in caliphates and.
No, let them just go back to New Jersey where they came from, bro. That's it.
The Ottoman Empire. That's where the Jews belong.
The Young Turks overthrew the Ottoman Empire.
Okay,
they were
fine.
like against the Ottomans.
But they okay, very good.
Look, to be fair, when the Young Turks started, they started out as like a revolutionary force. They wanted to like provide like more political freedoms and stuff. Then, like many political parties, they went to shit and they went bad. But like they didn't start off as evil.
But did they? Well, let's see what the Young Turks thought about Jews. Let's just see. That's actually a good question. What did the Young?
Okay, we don't need to see.
There's like a piece of the puzzle that I think people miss, and it's not a value judgment. It's just an explanation. After World War II, Jews all agreed, and somewhat of a pact amongst ourselves, the diaspora everywhere, that we will no longer depend on the generosity of other countries to protect us.
Right.
We no longer depend on Arabs. We no longer depend on Europeans. Jews have been depending on other governments for thousands of years to keep them safe, and they have continually failed them, and which culminated, obviously, in the Holocaust. So Jews around the world, they looked around after that, and the ashes of...
They looked around after the ashes and were like, what country can we steal, and who can we murder to take their land? What great sound logic. Because they've suffered, because Jews were persecuted and killed, they decided to persecute and kill another people. Where is this fucking logic going, Ethan? We were harmed, we were attacked, so because we suffered, it was only fair that we got to do some killing ourselves, and we got to do some holocausting ourselves. We were hurt, we were afraid, the world was persecuting us. What choice did they leave us? That's what he's making it sound like. What choice did we have? The world didn't want us, so we decided to steal a country and kill the people that were living there. Great. Great job, Ethan Klein.
The Second World War, and said, never again. That's what that means. It means never again will we allow ourselves to be put in this situation defenseless. Never again.
His body doesn't even want him. Look, his body is like ticking out of control. It's like, don't finish the sentence, bro.
Ourselves.
It's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
To be put in this situation.
He fought it through. Yeah. Never again. Never again for us, but the never again only means never again to the Jews, but on other people, who cares, you know? Never again to the Jews. Palestinians, fuck it. We can genocide them. Who cares? We lost our home. We were kicked out of countries. We were kicked out of Europe. It's only fair that we get to kill someone else.
Defenseless. Never again will we count on the grace of another country, another people, another culture to defend us.
Did it mean that you guys get to commit your own fucking genocide, Ethan Klein? Is that what it meant?
As a people, they made that decision then and there, and that was kind of where this is where the ethos of this whole like survival mentality comes from, right? And that's very much still how people feel. I know World War II was a long time ago, but that type of ethos, that's like a uniting kind of essence.
Look, I get it, okay? You're part of a persecuted people. You go through World War II. Shit's fucking traumatic. Of course, they're gonna have some a combined like cultural trauma. Of course, I understand that, okay? But the solution isn't to go steal another fucking country. You know, I understand them feeling persecuted and banding together and standing close together and being a tight-knit community and looking out after each other. And when there are multiple Jews in one country, they form this, like, for example, Armenians in Lebanon. They're a very tight-knit community as well because Armenians have been through some shit. They've been persecuted in the past. So Armenians in Lebanon look after one another. You know what I mean? Armenians get in business with each other. There's like an area in Lebanon called Bush Hamoud where a lot of Armenians live and they have a lot of businesses there. It's normal. Of course, communities that have been through some shit are going to be tight-knit, are going to look after one another. But Armenians didn't go and pick a country off a map and killed the locals that lived there and took over their land. That's not how you do it, Ethan. That's not how you do it. I'm not denying that people can feel some kind of trauma, of course. But to use that as an excuse and never again, and then to go get your own land where it's a Jewish supremacist state, how does that make any fucking sense? Veronica H. Song says, he's so racist, he can't think of someone not named Hassan having these opinions, while Ethan obviously has zero knowledge of politics from any side. Exactly. And Veronica, thank you so much again. You are the greatest example of of what an anti-Zionist Israeli is, and we really care about you so much in this community, and you are such a beacon of light and hope. Even though life is fucking hard and shit and Israel seems hopeless, you really have no idea how much hope you give people like me.
Of Jews everywhere, right? Is that I think that's why most Jews see Israel as an important place, as important to the religion. 80% or 70% polled said they think Israel is important to to being Jewish, because it is that. It is symbolically that. It is the promise that Jews made after.
He wants to say it's our promised land. He was thinking it's our promised land. It was written in the Torah. It was our promised land. Kind of stopped himself because he knows how fucking psycho he's gonna sound.
World War II. It is the promise that Jews made after World War II to never again depend on another people's generosity to defend them. You know, and so now there's lots to debate around.
Mira says, uninformed leftists watched this last night and skipped the exact same part asking ChatGPT what did they think, and he said the same thing. Okay, I don't care about this. Lol. Yo, James from Uninformed Leftist is a G. Love the guy, and we've been trying to get something together, to do something together for a while. Hopefully he can show up on the fundraising stream. Would love that.
All of the establishment of Israel, how it came to be, the Nakba and all that kinds of stuff. But I do think it's important to bear in mind the philosophy, the mentality, the survival instincts that kicked in after World War II.
No one denies the survival instincts. No one denies the trauma that the Jewish people went through after World War II. I think you would be fucking insane and foolish to do so. Okay? But that does not excuse in any way, shape, or form what they did, Ethan. And you bringing that up, don't forget, it's like, stop victimizing yourself. Stop using the Holocaust. Like, dude, my people, the Assyrians were genocided. Do I fucking talk about that as often as Jewish people talk about the Holocaust? Do Armenians talk about the Armenian Holocaust and use that as an excuse to explain away atrocities? No, they don't. No, they don't. So stop doing that, because you're doing a disservice to Jewish people, Ethan Klein.
War II that persists to this day. And I mean, of course, the Israelis feel that every day. They're surrounded by countries that have been continually in trying to.
And yeah, Dingafir says the Nakba and all that. Ethan referred to the Nakba and like, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So dismissive. Let's
war
go back to that.
On another people's that Jews. It is the promise, generosity to defend them. You know, and so now there's lots to debate around all of the establishment of Israel, how it came to be, the Nakba and all that kinds of stuff. But
the Nakba and all that kind of stuff, you know, the Great Catastrophe, you know, them kicking out 800,000 people from their homes, the Nakba and all those sorts of things, that stuff, you know.
But I do think it's important to bear in mind the philosophy, the mentality, the survival instincts that kicked in after World War II that persist to this day. And I mean, of course, the Israelis feel that every day. They're surrounded by countries that have been continually in trying to war with them, destroy them.
Honestly, this is going to sound stupid. If you guys want to really understand the Holocaust, there's so many documentaries that you can watch, historical stuff. Honestly, Schindler's List is one of my favorite movies of all time, because I think how Steven Spielberg shows you the depravity, the horrors of the Holocaust, and that movie is so timeless, and it's shot in black and white, so it feels extra timeless. It truly is a masterpiece that shook me to my core. When I saw Schindler's List for the first time, it was only a few years ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I finished the movie and I played it again right after. I've only done that like maybe 3 times in my life. Watched the same movie on the same day consecutively. I did that with Philadelphia, starring Tom Hanks and what's his name? Fucking Denzel Washington. And I did it with Schindler's List, because that movie fucking shook me to my core. I saw, like, in a lot of the Jewish people that were like, there was a character, I remember describing that scene. There was a scene where a husband looks at his wife. He's like, listen, we got to go hide into the sewers. The army, the Germans were coming in and they like had to hide. He's looking at his wife. He's like, we pack your shit. We got to go hide in the sewers. And his wife looks at him like this. She's like this proud woman. You know what I mean? She reminded me of my aunt, basically. She reminded me of my aunt Fabienne. She's like looking at her husband like, no, I'm not going to fucking hide in the sewers. Like, I'm a proud, classy woman. I'm not going to be like a rat and go hide in the sewers. But then a few minutes later, she understands, like, we have to fucking do that. She packs her shit, goes with her husband, and they hide in the sewers. That moment really fucking shook me, because I saw my aunt. I imagined, what if my aunt here in Lebanon, someone was coming in trying to kill us, and my uncle's like, yo, we got to go hide in the sewers. She'd be like, I'm not going to fucking hide in the sewers. Like, I'm a lady. I'm not going to hide in the sewers. Shit like that. Also, Mouse, I'll be right back. This is a fantastic graphic novel. A fantastic graphic novel. It was written by Arts Spiegelman, and this is the story of the Holocaust, essentially told. Jewish people are portrayed as mice, and the Nazis are portrayed as cats, essentially, in this. And it's such a touching story of a dad telling his son the story of the Holocaust, what happened, how they survived. It gives such amazing insight into what Jewish people went through in the Holocaust. It is genuinely heartbreaking. So no one's denying that. And anyone who does deny the Holocaust or the impact that it has on people is a fucking asshole. With all that said, and I really recommend you read Mouse. And if you have kids and you want to get your kids introduced to the Holocaust and let them learn about it, this is a great read for parents and their kids. Very touching, very shocking at times. It even explains, like, for example, you know, the trope. People like to say that Jewish people are cheap and Jewish people don't like to save any money and Jewish people are frugal. Well, Mouse does. I'm not saying that Jewish people are frugal or anything, but like Mouse kind of tries to explain why some Jewish people might hold on to things more than longer than, for example, biscuits. When you lived through the Holocaust, bro, if you found like a pack with 3 biscuits in them, Jewish people had to like split these biscuits among themselves and like try to survive eating these 3 biscuits for like 5 days. So Jewish people, to survive the Holocaust, got used to not throwing anything away, bro. If you found 1 biscuit, you hold on to that fucking biscuit, because eating half of that fucking biscuit could be the difference between life or death. Don't forget, Jewish people, all of their gold, all of their money, all their valuables were stolen by the Nazis. They took all of their belongings. So if a Jewish person were to find something, they're going to hold on to it because they don't know if they can use it to trade it for food. Everything became survival. So once the Holocaust ended, a lot of Jewish people, or some Jewish people that lived through that, carried that trauma with them. So for them, throwing money away, or like throwing a pack that has 2 biscuits left, to them it's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is food. This could feed someone in a desperate situation. So I even understand where that comes from. And Mouse does a great job of like explaining that. So I just wanted to touch on that because this shit is very touching, to be honest with you. Veronica H. Song says, my grandfather lost a wife and 2 children in the Jewish Holocaust. I'm sure he would be so ashamed of Israel before and certainly what it became. Of course. And that's honestly the way I see it too. You know what I mean? And people who survived the Holocaust, people who lived through the Holocaust, what would they think if they see what Israel is doing now? Horrible. Veronica says, amazing universal books. Mouse, definitely. We're almost done with Ethan, and I'm going to let you guys go. But I just wanted to explain that a little bit.
I mean, you know what happened one day before the Nakba? I don't know if people don't really talk about this. One day before the Nakba. People don't know. What happened one day before
Tell us, Ethan, please teach us what happened one day before the Nakba. He's basically trying to justify the Nakba. The Nakba, which means the great catastrophe, is when 800,000 Palestinians were kicked out of their homes overnight, and a lot of them were murdered. Please, what preceded the Nakba, Ethan? What justifies the Nakba in your opinion?
Nakba.
Palestinians were living at home?
What?
I said Palestinians were living at home?
Oh, AB, thanks for chiming in, buddy.
Well, sure.
Yep.
And you know what else happened? Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, all invaded Israel to kill everybody there.
One day before the Nakba, Jordan by the way, look at Ethan's face, bro. Oh my fucking God, bro. So one day before the Nakba, one day before the great catastrophe, what happened? Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria, they all decided to attack Israel to kill all the Jews. Why? They just wanted to kill the Jews, right?
They unilaterally, there was 5 Arab countries that unilaterally unified to invade Israel and kill every fucking person there or remove them forcibly.
So they had to do the Nakba. Don't you see? We had to do the Nakba. We had to kick out the Palestinians because if we hadn't, we would have been killed. Okay. First of all, here's some quick facts about the Nakba. It's crazy that we even have to look at this, but like what led to the Nakba? This is according to the Institute for Middle East Understanding. The Nakba, or the catastrophe in Arabic, refers to the violent expulsion of approximately 3/4 of all Palestinians from their homes. Okay? The Nakba was a deliberate and systematic act intended to establish a Jewish majority state in Palestine among themselves. Zionist leaders used the euphemism transfer when discussing plans for what today would be called ethnic cleansing. The roots of the Nakba and the ongoing problems in Palestine, Israel today lie in the emergence of political Zionism in the late 1800s, when some European Jews, influenced by the nationalism then sweeping the continent, decided that the solution to anti-Semitism in Europe and Russia was the establishment of a state for Jews in Palestine. They began immigrating to Palestine as colonists, where they started dispossessing indigenous Muslim and Christian Palestinians. Okay? In November 1947, following World War II and the Holocaust, the newly created United Nations approved a plan to divide Palestine into Jewish and Arab states against the will of the majority indigenous Palestinian Arab population. It gave 56% of the land to the proposed Jewish state, so more than half of the land would go to the colonizers, despite the fact that Jews owned only about 7% of the private land in Palestine and made up only about 33% of the population, a very large percentage of whom were recent immigrants from Europe. The Palestinian Arab state was to be created on just 42% of Palestine, even though Muslim and Christian Palestinians made up a large majority of the population and were indigenous to all of the land. Jerusalem was to be governed by a special international administration. Almost immediately after the partition plan was passed, the expulsion of Palestinians by Zionist militias began, months before the armies of neighboring Arab states became involved. So the only reason Arab countries became involved was because Zionists were kicking out Palestinians, or expulsing them, okay? They were literally kicking them out of their homes, killing them, starting the colonial fucking project. It is only then, months after that process began, that the neighboring Arab countries got involved militarily. They're like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You're kicking out these Arabs and you're stealing their land? This ain't fucking right, because they also thought that they were going to be next. Every single Arab country could fucking be next on Israel's plan. Have you heard of Greater Israel, folks? Lebanon is part of Greater Israel. They want to take Lebanon, bro. Okay, so that's when they started to fucking fight back. When the fucking the colonies fucking started, bro. So months before the armies of neighboring Arab states became involved, the Zionists had already started the expulsion of Palestinians. By the time these militias and the new Israeli army finished, the new state of Israel covered 78% of Palestine. The remaining 22%, comprising of the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza, fell under the control of Jordan and Egypt, respectively. So, no, I'm sorry, Ethan Klein. It wasn't one day before the Nakba that the Arab countries decided to fucking attack, and then that the Jews had to do the Nakba to protect themselves. Fuck you for saying that, you fucking genocidal Zionist piece of shit.
It was the invading fucking Arab armies that told the Palestinians to leave.
Oh, the Arabs. So, Arab shaklak, bro. So, it wasn't the Zionist forces and militias that were kicking out Palestinians. It was the Arab armies that told them to leave. We told them to leave. And then the Israelis took over their homes. They were like, oh, the Arabs told them to leave. The Zionists didn't steal any homes, folks. We told the Palestinians to leave. And because we lost the war, Israelis kept them. So it's the Arabs' fault. It's our fault this is all happening, folks. According to Ethan Klein and Ela Klein.
Come back when the war was over. They thought they were going to steamroll all the Jews living there. They didn't. They lost the war, and a lot of the Palestinians who were told to leave and come back,
who were told to leave by the Arabs told them to leave. Okay, great, Ethan. This is amazing. Wow.
Never got to come back home. Now a lot of Palestinians did stay in Israel, and those people are citizens today. 2 million plus of them live in Israel proper, which I think is the correct term, not Greater Israel, which is something else.
That Greater Israel, which is something else, Greater Israel includes Lebanon. It includes half of Saudi Arabia. It includes Syria. Fuck you, bro. That's what they want, man.
It's funny. There's a clip of Frogan even saying, like, my family lost their house in the Nakba. They were told to leave. They were told to leave and come back.
Yeah.
Frogan's Lebanese, bro. So first of all, I don't think Frogan had family in Palestine. I don't know what the fuck you heard, but that's definitely not what Frogan said.
So, like, there's important fucking context there that explains, at least, not to justify, not to moralize.
Oh, you are trying to... So there's important context, folks. The context is that the Jews felt threatened by the Arab nations that wanted to attack them for no reason, apparently. Arab nations just wanted to attack all the Jews in Palestine for no reason, so they decided, hey, we got to do the Nakba. It's now or never. If we don't do the Nakba today, we're going to get killed.
because the Jews did steal land. They did forcibly, because the Jews did steal land. They did forcibly, remove, banish, etc. Ethnically cleanse Israel after that. Absolutely. There was 800,000.
Oh, at least absolutely. But it was the Arabs' fault because the Arabs told them to leave, you know, and the Arabs wanted to kill. So it was the Arabs' fault essentially.
1,000 people that were ethnically cleansed in the wake of the war that happened there, right? But people, and again,
his body's trying to fight it. His body knows he's saying stupid shit. It's like, no, cough some more. Tick overload. Stop him from saying this.
There was a very significant event that happened one day before the Nakba that nobody fucking talks about. They want to say, you know,
because it's bullshit, bro. What the fuck kind of propaganda is this? At least, you know, at least I respect Cenk for coming on PBD and being like, you know what? I was fucking propagandized as a kid. I fucking bought into the propaganda. My bad. Okay. Ethan Klein and Ela Klein could never fucking do that. They could never have that level of self-awareness and level of maturity that someone as crazy and annoying as Cenk showed in that PBD clip. Veronica says, so funny, Ethan. I'm laughing to death here. Veronica, we all are. We're laughing deep down inside. It's not a haha kind of funny.
October 7th happened. Everything happened way before October 7th. It's like, yeah, how far do you want to go back? You know? What day did the Nakba happen? Look at this. The Nakba, it takes place on May 15th.
1948.
Okay? What was that?
Yeah, I was saying the date.
So is he chat GPTing this again?
Star. Not moralizing, not justifying, but I am just saying that all their neighbors tried to invade and kill and remove everybody there. So yeah, they're gonna have some type.
Why? Why did the neighboring countries attack? Look, Yahmar, why? They're bored? Hey, let's go kill the Jews in Palestine. They wanted to attack because Zionists were kicking Palestinians out of their homes, stealing their lands, killing them, taking over a country, and Arabs were like, first of all, that's not fair. Why are you killing Palestinians and stealing their land? And second, they're like, they're going to do it to us later. So unless we stop this problem now, unless we stop this disease, the Zionist disease in its tracks, we're going to get fucked. We're going to get fucked. And we're getting fucked now because they failed, man. Liz Felix sends $5 and says, I hate that Ethan thinks that by wearing a shirt and jacket that he'll be taken seriously. He's a joke. Chat GPT regurgitating ass. Oh yeah, the whole suit stuff. He's trying to look more serious. He's trying to look like a political commentator. You got the hair gel and all. But we're not buying it, Ethan Klein. You're not fooling anyone, my man.
A feeling about that. You know, and that persists to this day because Israelis who were born there, 80% of the Israelis living there were born there. Their families, their parents, their grandparents fought in these wars. This is fresh. This isn't like...
Yeah, fucking assholes, fucking murderous fuckers, bro. Even if, again, but a lot of them are Arab Jews. Yeah, okay. Fuck Arab Jews that went to another Arab country and stole someone else's land. You think because it makes them Arab, that means it's fine? Any person who went to Palestine, stole someone else's land, and now lives there is a fucking colonial piece of shit. Even if they're an Arab Jew. You think because they're an Arab Jew, it makes it okay? Well, I'm Arab, so I can come and steal this house now. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not fine, bro. Nothing excuses what they're doing.
The Holocaust happened so long ago. You know, oh, we're so sorry this thing happened to you. Time to shut up and move on. This is fresh. You know, this is not a fucking healed wound. Okay, so everybody in the Middle East is it's getting fucked, right? It's horrible. There's war. There's
Israel is fucking the Middle East, my man. It's not fucked. Israel and the U.S. are fucking it happily. It's part of their fucking plan, Yahmar.
Conflict. There's ethnic cleansing. It's this continual shit show. And there's a genocide happening.
Okay, good. He says there's a genocide happening. There we go. 1 point. 1 sticker on the forehead.
To Gazans, you know, just a horrific fucking development and what Netanyahu.
And your people are doing that. Your people, your country, your dual citizen country, your wife's terrorist organization, they're doing it right now, Ethan Klein.
When they're all doing their... Oh, dude, I'm ready. I'm ready to send Netanyahu to the... I'm ready to fucking... I don't know if I can say this, but...
Kill him? You want him to die? Fuck yeah. It's okay to say it. It's okay to say that you want the devil to die, bro. Netanyahu should be fucking dead. He should be burning in hell right the fuck now. Say
that
it,
guy
bro.
should be... Right?
Say it, bitch.
Like, I'm right there with you guys. Let's put him on the...
You think you're the only one? Have you?
But they talk like Netanyahu's the only problem, bro. Israeli society is the problem. Most Israelis agree with what Netanyahu's fucking doing. Most is 85, 80-something% of Israelis don't think that what's happening in the Gaza Strip is bad or overdoing it, bro. Stop it with the bullshit. Stop it.
Seen all the protests in Israel?
Him and his
nobody in Israel supports what he's doing. Nobody.
That's the thing too. It's pure.
Nobody in Israel supports what he's doing. Actually, everyone in Israel supports what he's doing. Most Israelis support what is happening in Gaza right now.
You think you're the only one? Have you seen all the protests in Israel?
Him and his
nobody in Israel supports what he's doing. Nobody.
Israelis just want the hostages back. They don't give a fuck what's happening to Palestinians. I'm sorry.
Thing too. It's pure social chaos. Like, you know, Netanyahu wants to occupy the entire Gaza Strip. It's just chaos, right?
People are being on the street all day, every day. I mean, nobody supports what he's doing.
Yeah, everybody wants the hostages back. They don't give a fuck about the Palestinians. They just want the hostages back, and they want the Gaza Strip. They want Netanyahu to occupy the Gaza Strip. They want to get rid of all the Palestinians from Israel. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? Enough.
Quick correction. I'm seeing that people commemorate the Nakba on May 15th, but it started in 1947. That's what I'm saying.
Why do they commemorate it on May 15th?
This catastrophe.
AB, yani Kamena, if you're sitting on this podcast for 2 years, you haven't learned about the Nakba, you haven't done a bit of fucking research. Do a bit of fucking research so you can fucking stand up for what's right, Ahmad. But I don't know enough. You've had 2 years to learn, bro. You've had 2 years to learn something.
I'm not sure why on that day.
That doesn't really
The
make
Nakba
sense.
was one incident. It happened all at once. And it happened
All at once. It happened in 1 hour, folks. One afternoon.
on May 15th, like it said, 1948.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the next stuff, which is the expulsion.
So that's it. You know, people want to look at this conflict like bad and good. Now, what Netanyahu's doing at this point is obviously evil, right? There's no
bad and good. What do you think? There's gray? You think the genocide is gray? You think you can explain the genocide? Yes, genocide bad. Palestinians good. Colonialism, genocide bad. Resistance good. It's not that fucking complicated. It's not a complicated conflict, Ethan. 2 years in, I think the world has come to the conclusion that, you know what, it's actually not as complicated as the world has tried to make it sound. You know what I mean? It's actually pretty fucking simple.
No, there's no bad and good in this situation, but Hamas also bad. Hamas.
Resistance to oppression is always good. The methods are sometimes fucked, but what do you want them to do? Don't oppress them, don't kill them, don't imprison them in an open air prison, and maybe October 7th doesn't fucking happen.
Hamas, October 7th, also bad. There's this clip of Hassan where he's sitting there with that guy who's in every terrible clip, MNP or whatever. And he goes, why is Israel bombing Lebanon? And Hassan goes, because they're there.
Oh yeah, Lebanon is part of the greater Israel plan. Israel has wanted Lebanon. They've wanted South Lebanon forever, bro. They're fucking horny for it. Yeah, they'll find any excuse to fucking bomb Lebanon, bro. Okay, ما تحكيني هلا. AB is fucking sitting there quietly, little bitch.
Okay. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
Anyways, Fart Twain sends $5 and says, AB, Mr. I've cared about Palestine since 2011 and don't speak up if you're white because you don't know enough, doesn't even know what Nakba Day is. Embarrassing, folks. And with that, we're done, folks. We're done with today's stream. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Comrade Casey for being here, for talking to us for like an hour and 15 minutes. That was such a nice conversation. Very refreshing. We don't do a lot of interviews here, but when it comes to the right people, folks, we love having people like Comrade Casey on. If you guys enjoyed that interview and you'd like me to speak to some other people on the left, some other friends of the show, please let us know. I want to try and get as many of them as I can for a fundraiser that we're going to do hopefully next week. To everyone who has not subscribed yet to Do Not Worry Gaming, please consider supporting us on our new gaming channel. We're at 769 subscribers. I'm going to be doing some gaming tomorrow, folks. And like I mentioned, American Truck Simulator is coming, folks. I paid $260 for this today, folks. $260 so I can play American Truck Driving Simulator. I got my plaid shirt that I'm going to go sleeveless. We're going to cut off these sleeves. I'm going to be wearing this. I'm going to be getting myself a spit bucket and just spitting in the spit bucket, folks. Playing some fucking American Truck Simulator. We're playing Dark Souls as well. I just beat Ornstein and Smaug and Crossbreed. What's her name? Bianca or something? Crossbreed Priscilla. So join us. It's a very fun. I'm doing like 3 to 4 gaming streams a week. It's a lot of fun. I eventually want to get to a point where I'm streaming half the time on my gaming channel and half the time on the main channel. So if you're into gaming, if you want way more Anthony and Do Not Worry stuff, consider joining us on the gaming thing because the channel is becoming more and more active. And once it gets monetized, I'm going to be spending a lot of time there. So be sure to subscribe to our patrons. Thank you so much to everyone who supports this channel. If you want to support us, you can do so on Patreon. You can do so by becoming a YouTube member. Thank you to everybody who became a YouTube member today, to everybody who contributed in the live chat. We love you so much. To all our patrons, thank you so much. We did an exclusive live stream yesterday. Me and Elijah, we reviewed weapons. We talked gaming. We talked Naked Gun. I streamed it for everyone, but the replay is now exclusive for patrons and members. So members, go to the members tab. Patrons, go on Patreon. There's an unlisted link for a live stream that we did yesterday. It's exclusive for you guys. So members, patrons, you want more, Do Not Worry. You want my opinions on Weapons, the movie? Go sign up and check that out. So to everyone else, thank you so much for being here. No, not spoiler alert. Boom. There we go. We love you guys so much. Veronica, Haley D, Jordan M, Dizzle McFizzle, CH, Floppy Noodle, Marina Nimis, Hat Guy, Nugs, Lotto, Dana Ahmad. We love you all so much. And once again, Comrade Casey, thank you so much for being here and joining us. It was such a pleasure to have you. Folks, I will see you hopefully tomorrow for a gaming stream. I'm either going to set up American Truck Simulator tomorrow or some more Dark Souls. With that said, folks, I love you. And as always, do not worry.